was unable to stop the magic, and it broke me. And that's when I came to take the lead. Nice to meet you, finally. I'm Hades, Apollo's other half. See, Apollo is very innocent and has a hard time dealing with extreme stress. During a few majorly stressful moments in his life, I have taken over to get him through those situations. That first came to be during the whole business with the bully and the fireball. At least that was the earliest memory. I lived deep in his consciousness, seeing and hearing all until I'm needed. His friends being split and sent into the future 10 years was just the needed push for me to take the reins again. The only problem is, for the next 10 years, I stayed in control and couldn't talk to him. So for the last 10 years, I've been running around having a grand adventure with Dahlia and Gaiju, who become like siblings to me. Stories we could tell. I could write a book. Anyways, I eventually reconnected with our friends and have been traveling since. Oh, and Apollo has started talking again, taking control for short periods of time. Perhaps he'll take back over soon, and I'll go back to the dark corner of his brain that I usually stay. Which is good, right?
I'm Dara Mullane from Currants Gap. My family's been the town blacksmith's time out of mind. So that's what I learned, and what I thought I'd always do. My little brother Aiden, though, he was different. Don't even know where he got half the books he read, and nobody ever really understood what he was on about. Some folks got more patience for that than others, and some don't have nothing better to do but make trouble. Fenton Antry was one of those. His daddy owned the mine. He figured that meant he owed the rest of us, too. One night, Fenton had been wasting time and his daddy's money in the tavern. Took some kind of personal offense from Aiden just being Aiden. My brother was on the ground when I got there, and, well, it's kind of a blur after that, till they dragged me off. I'm told Fenton ain't never been the same since. With what passed for justice in the mountains back then, that was more than enough to get me clapped in irons and shipped off to some other mine. It was 12 years before the new Aberrant soldiers came and told us the mine bosses weren't going to be a problem anymore. Whatever we were in for, we would be forgiven and we'd be free right then and there if we joined up. Seemed like an easy choice, to be part of the folks aiming to bring peace and justice. And for a while, it made sense. I even heard my brother got to go off to some fancy school to learn magic. I swore my oath to Kokobiel, angel of the moon and stars. Only it turns out she ain't what she's supposed to be, and neither is New Aberrant. It's all complicated. And my team, Ariath, well, they're mostly all smarter than me, but even I could tell when there wasn't no choice but to leave. So we did, and here we are. What happens next? Well, that's anybody's guess.
I never put much stock in families. My own sold me off to the black market to make money off the child with wings. I was nothing but a skinny street kid with broken wings from trying to escape. That is, until the Order of the Fallen Star Soldiers rescued me. My heroes in blue. I aspired to be like them and one day meet the big three, Soma, Geneva, and Aegis. My life turned around and I worked hard night and day to hone my skills and be the best soldier I could. I usually worked on my own until I was paired up with the most peculiar group of people. We were sent on some quests, our base was attacked, and I died. But don't worry, Dahlia brought me back. I think I could actually consider her my first true friend. Gaiju and Dira also quickly wormed their way into my guarded heart as our adventures continued. My world turned a little upside down at that point as we encountered creatures and were hounded by the gods. I'm starting to think my little group is a god magnet, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Anyways, one of these gods, Luna, decided that I would be a good stand-in for her and transferred her powers over to me. I met her sisters, which seem like major bitches, and I keep getting asked if I would choose peace or war, and quite frankly, I'm tired of it. And I would rather continue being the best soldier I can, which turned out to be not that great. My friend may have accidentally transformed into a slightly terrifying demon, which forced us to defect. But one of the big three, Soma, also defected, and it turns out so did his brother. So maybe my past heroes were not all they cracked up to be. I wish I could say things went well from there, but somehow myself, Dira, and Treya were transported 10 years in the future, while Gaiju, Dahlia, and our new friend Apollo were left behind. For us, no time had passed, but the rest of Ariath was stuck living in the past 10 years searching for us. We finally found each other just as Geneva, another of the big three, found us and was not very friendly. A few murders later, and we were free of her wrath. Soma found us again, and I'm glad he did. He's not as bad as Dahlia makes him seem.
Going in.
Make sure it's all, okay. There we go. All right, it looks like it's working. We're gonna do some quick tests. Everybody, sorry we're late and sorry we kept going off online. A lot of updates to a lot of things and weird shit happened. So I'm just making sure audio is working before we find out that we got 5,000 more technical difficulties.
Seems to be working.
Looks like it's working. Yeah, all right, cool. Welcome back to another playbook 2, Blades of Bahamut. We're back after C22. If you saw us over in Chicago in cosplay, you know, hopefully this is your first time. Otherwise, welcome back. No major announcements since we're running a little bit late. We're just going to go right into the intro. All right.
Gosh, Kayla.
Right, it's all Killsful.
It's all Kayla's.
Last we left off, the team went on a little bit of shopping expedition to get themselves outfits for the Gala, the King's event that's coming up to celebrate all the contestants, including the winner for the King's tournament. Throughout this process, each of them got their own specific outfit, whether it was more armor or more magical based. And when everyone went to sleep, a couple things happened. One, Dahlia had a little bit of a spat with her grandfather. Fun things to come from that. And Dira had a vision about the blade that is one of the victory prizes. Also during that process, Gaju communicated with the Lasna, trying to find out some way of helping, but the trade was not exactly what Gaju was kind of hoping for. If planning to do it, a thievery of a ring would need to be had for the help to happen. But you all went to sleep. You got your long rest. It is the next morning, the day of the gala itself. Some of you still have to pick up your outfits as they required some tailoring. Some of you just got pieces. As far as names or everything, I can tell you the names of everything that has been completed, whether you have it or not, just so you have it in your inventory. Zephinia and Dahlia, your stuff is just under your name. So Zephinia's outfit, Dahlia's dress. We got Cloak of Mercy for Dira, Void Coat for Hades, and then Gaju, you have two different things. You have the armor of the Sunseeker, and you got the horn jewelry of teleportation. Oh, there's like a buzzing. Why is
I
everything
am not seeing the void code BTW.
BTW? Let me check. It should be. Maybe you just might let it like load. It wouldn't be surprised if D&D Beyond is also having issues right now too. Because in mine it shows as a completed item.
They just did a big update as well.
Yeah.
It's everybody's update week.
Yeah, everything's updating like in the past week. You might just have to let it refresh a couple times and see when it eventually pops up. There's like a buzzing in my headphones. It's kind of annoying.
I don't.
If none of you are seeing your stuff yet, then that's probably just D&D right now. It's probably just doing a thing.
I got it.
You got it?
I got mine.
Okay.
It took me a second, but it loaded. Yeah.
Okay. But it is the morning. You all are awake. It's, early morning, noon, depending on when you want to get up. 9, 10 o'clock. Who wants to go first?
Probably the boy that doesn't sleep as long as the rest of us, I'd assume.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, probably.
I guess if I am waking up before everyone else, go back a few hours.
Okay.
Is anyone else in the house awake? Or, like, anyone else, like, my family?
No. Although, to be honest, certain people are using silent spells often, so you don't know.
Y'all fuck like rabbits. I'm just gonna slip outside of the house for a little bit and do some listening, see if any passerbys happen to mention something about like the festival or the gala, just anything that may potentially be off.
It is still pretty early. Any people that are going through a town are either cleaning up from the festivities of the previous night, or they are maybe getting the stores all set up. Through any conversations that are going on, there's not really much talk about the gala itself. Might just be too early.
Okay. I'm going to once again burn a wild shape to cast Find Familiar. The same white raven kind of forms on my shoulder, and then I'm going to send it out into the forest where I know that, what's their names? It's been a week. Sorry. The Green Knight and, Philia.
You're talking about Cisne?
Yes, Cisne.
Okay.
I would like to see if they are still there or otherwise where they are.
Okay. Taking some time for the bird to make its way over there. Is anything going to do while the bird, due to its flying speed, gets over there?
I will probably just wander around the house, but I'm not going to go too far because there are a few people in the house that might kill me if I completely wander off.
Fair enough.
And I'm just going to continue listening for
Okay.
anything unusual.
All right. After about 15 minutes, you're able to find out the bird was able to spot not only where Cisne and Phinia are, but are also able to spot a total of 18 other soldiers. These soldiers don't have any specific markings or unique colors to them. If anything, they look more of kind of like well-trained citizens.
Okay. I can't remember how much control I have over the bird over that long of a distance, but I assume not much. Could I just have it like land in the trees nearby and try to listen in for any conversations?
Sure.
I've probably sat down somewhere to do this.
Give me, just because of their paranoia, give me a skill check for the bird using its stats.
Sorry, I have to re-pull the stats.
That's all right.
But I did roll a 16, so it's probably pretty good.
All right, and then roll me a perception.
I am so underprepared for this. Okay, so yeah, that was 17, and then you said which to roll for?
Perception.
Perception. Well, that's not very good. That's a 4.
4. You're able to get the bird on a spot where it doesn't seem too suspicious that this is just like a random bird just like hanging out. But whether it's other creatures around or maybe the way they're moving, it's hard to get like a good spot where you can actually hear them. You can hear like a couple parts of a conversation a time, which is put at nightfall. But no specific clocked hour. The only other thing you get is specifically the mention of the queen, but no details about what they're trying to refer to for the queen.
I'll have the raven just do some flying around in the area just to be a little more natural to the area. Okay. If I'm not hearing anything outside of the house, I'm going to return to the house to my room while I wait for Dahlia to wake up. And I'm just going to go back to bird vision and continue spying.
All right. Then just for the rest of the time that you want to do this, just give me an investigation check as you're just kind of soaring around, seeing if anything pops up.
You know what? Ashton helped me out last week, so... No, he failed me this week.
Damn it, Graymore. Throughout the time that you're trying to see if the bird notices anything out of the ordinary, there is only one real thing that kind of pops up is 2 other soldiers that eventually reconvene with the group of 20. And these 2 actually look the closest thing that resembles a mage. They got a cloak up, they got the full coverings over their body, unable to tell what's underneath or even what gender they would actually be as far as physicality. But that's all you're able to really get throughout that time. And they pretty much come in a lot later, so you wouldn't notice them until about the time when everybody would be waking up.
Okay. That will be it then. Okay.
Then let's go with, since we're already in that area, let's go with Dahlia.
I'm sleeping?
We're at the point where you'd be awake now.
Okay. I'm not emotionally prepared for this. All right. I don't have any dreams or anything other than flipping off Deimos, do I?
I mean, what other dreams you got have nothing to do with me. So use your imagination of what other dreams you got.
No, don't threaten me with a good time. All right. I awaken. Ooh.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, if you want me to go to somebody else, I can.
We would need to go get our dresses, so
Yeah.
I feel like Z would grab Dahlia and grab our fancy dresses.
Just bust in the room, just grab her arm, just pull her while she's not even dressed
Get your
yet.
clothes on. We gotta go. Okay.
Come on, nerd.
We'll bring Dira with. Let's go, Dira.
Huh? Where are we going? Oh, you got to get your right. All right.
Fancy time.
Fancy time.
Morning walk.
Wait, have you busted into my room yet? Are we doing that? Is that canon?
We're doing that.
Boom goes the door. You ready to grab your dress? Are you just waking up?
This is even more perfect. All right, you slam open the door, and I shoot a guiding bolt at your face, freaking out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, fair enough.
Have you heard of knocking?
No! Are you guys getting up? It's way past time.
I thought you were Deimos. I'm sorry. I am.
No.
You don't look nothing like Deimos.
Thank you.
It's. Alright, what are you doing here?
We're picking up our dresses. Sun's up. Sun's been up for a while.
What time
I'm
is it?
surprised
It's like
you're still sleeping.
7 in the morning.
Past that. Like 7:15. You're burning daylight hours.
Okay, give me 10 minutes. I'll meet you downstairs.
Just as a curiosity, are you wearing a shirt when she opens up the door?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then never mind.
I've learned my lesson.
She would have been like,
Now, if he's wearing a shirt, I don't know. I hope not. But
are you wearing pants at least?
Yeah, I mean, shirt.
Yes.
It's not.
Guide you pulls the
It ain't
blanket up.
uncommon
Why
for
are
me
you
to wear
here?
no shirt.
why are you in my house?
You invited us here.
I will go downstairs and see if there's any coffee or tea that is available
Okay.
while I wait for the sleepyheads to get up.
This is the first time
I
you
will
actually.
join you.
Okay. This is the first time you go downstairs, and there's no inviting smell. No one's awake yet. No food is on the warmer. Nothing is boiling.
Oh, his mom cooks so good.
As much as I'm a little worried about messing in someone else's kitchen, maybe we can return the favor for once.
Hey, I do know some breakfast foods that I can cook. I've been learning.
By all means, I'll see about getting the tea on. I can handle tea.
Taking
I
stuff
go look
out.
for the tea.
Okay.
Some probably really disgusting biscuits and gravy, but I'm gonna make it with heart.
Roll me a performance check.
Oh no. How good are these gonna be? 19.
Okay. Whether it is just, guessing and it works out right, or you've officially actually made the perfect kind of biscuits and gravy, it turns out pretty damn well. The smell's inviting enough to actually wake people out of a dead sleep.
Dira, did you want to try?
Oh my god, that smells amazing. Yeah. Well, let's. Oh, here. Oh man, that's good. All right, let's take this out. Let's get folks out here. Yeah. You're not kidding about learning stuff.
If you want to put it down as a note, you now know how to make biscuits and gravy properly.
Yes. And that's the only thing.
And it has the stamp of approval of the girl from Fantasy West Virginia. So.
Woohoo.
At this point, as the door is assumingly still open, Dahlia and Gaju, you see Gaju's parents get out all disheveled hair, all messed up, half clothed on, be like, "What smells so good?" as they keep walking by.
Hi, I hope you didn't mind. We didn't ask about getting in the kitchen, but we figured maybe we could return the favor for a change.
Oh, no.
Well, Sophia really knew what she was doing.
Smells fantastic. Go put some drawers on. Go on. Go get some pants on. Oh, Amelie runs back upstairs.
Not exactly. Go on.
I don't know if my guiding bolt destroyed the door, but I'm gonna be trying to do mending on it real quick.
I mean, we probably both ducked it, so maybe the wall behind us.
Fair enough.
Mending.
Emmy's room.
As you're like mending this wall,
Emmy
you just you just see half naked Zarmir passing by the hole in the wall.
I'm gonna close the door. I don't know if it's mended or not. I don't care at this point.
Fair enough. Okay.
Jodakash, I have seen too much of your family in the last 24 hours. I am just letting you know.
You know, so have I, and that's something I never thought I would say in probably 30 years. Oh my god. I trust you slept well.
I'll start getting ready, and I'm like, no.
What happened?
So Deimos showed up in my dream, and I told him to fuck off. And then he cursed at me, went on his spiel, and he did something. Cut off power. I don't know. It's there was a string and like a tether, and he cut it. And he disowned me in a way, I think. I feel different, but not. I like something's missing. But I don't know.
Be your devil likeness?
I could.
Listen, I'm no expert on your family dynamics, but I do know enough of assholes and power. And if he disowned you, that might mean that you are missing the not-so-fun side of your family. Genetics. Whatever.
Well, I certainly don't need them, but I just. I could try to transform.
Maybe not in my familial home.
I look at
Just
the
in case.
door and I'm like, yeah, maybe not here. But I don't know what it means. Hopefully it means he will truly fuck off. Just tired of him pushing me around and making deals and being an asshole.
I doubt he's done with you, but right now, I don't know if that's something we can worry about, especially given what we have to do today. So,
You're right.
let's just take it one day at a time and we'll figure out what's going on next, okay?
We have to look hot tonight. And I fly out the door.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but alright. He will just, like,
Everything.
hesitantly head downstairs for food.
Okay.
So once everybody's down, like around a mouthful of food, Dare just casually, so that sword. I think I had a dream about it again. What do we know about it?
Ooh,
It
pardon.
got
Which food?
has it got something to do with a dragon? The one that's a prize. The one that I saw before we heard about it.
I mean, it's a blade of Bahamut. It could
he's a
have
dragon, ain't he?
something.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I had this time. It weren't just. I mean, last time it was just the. Last time it was just kind of the sword was there, and it was crystal and it was shiny and all that. This time there was. I don't know if it was me, or me seeing somebody else, or I don't know. But there was big old battle around it, and oh gosh, what was it? There were these, I don't even know what these things were, fighting with the sword, and then there was this platform, like almost like a star. It had points on it, and all the different kinds of energy went into it, and everything went wild. And then the dragon came and slashed down at it. I ain't good at describing this stuff. I know y'all are used to seeing things and having some idea why you're seeing them. I don't know where this is coming from.
I don't think we really ever get used to what we see in our dreams.
But it's just real weird that it's this sword that they have at this, because that's part of your prize, right?
I believe so.
Well, I don't know why they're showing it to me, or who's showing it, or why. Any of that make sense to any of you?
I mean, perhaps it's choosing you.
Well, don't look like it'll be much fun if that's the case, but then what else is new?
It wasn't like a vision of the past or the future, could you tell?
I don't know. I didn't even know where I was or what these things were that I was fighting, or if it was even me. It just, because weren't like I was doing anything. It was like I was just watching it, but from the inside. Like, I mean, it was like it was something that already happened, but
could have been the past. Maybe
I can't tell.
Had visions of the past before in our group.
True enough. I mean, have we heard anything like that with one of the blades? That it was, I don't know. I know it don't make much sense. But anyway,
Sure.
that was my night. I woke up ready for tea. That's all I know.
I'm gonna jump up. I forgot about the tea! And
oh,
go
that's
grab
my
some.
job. I go with her. Sorry, I was okay. She's got it. Well, I sit down and dish up more biscuits and gravy.
While I'm in the kitchen, I just go into my necklace. We have food if you're hungry.
You're to Soma?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it right that I come over?
I don't see why not. I made it myself.
Oh, okay, I'll be right there.
And I'll just kind of walk around the kitchen doing odd jobs, and you just kind of see Savinia like glance out the door and the window every so often.
Do you talk out loud when you talk into your necklace?
100%. I said it quietly.
Okay. About like 15 minutes, give or take, the knock comes on the door.
There's not even like one knock before she opens it up and just like gives him a kiss and pulls him inside. Hey, we have one more for breakfast.
Hello, everyone. Hi again.
Please tell me my parents are decent at this point.
I just kind of scoot over and give him space.
They do eventually come down decent.
Thank God.
With the smell, even Metacana comes down and partakes in the food.
Where's Hades?
Wrangling dogs. He's in his room doing his now 11 push-ups.
Oh shit! It's gonna get cut.
Getting up there, beefy.
You're halfway to the daily challenge.
Don't need spell slots when you got these. Oh no. So yeah, he'll be doing that. Then when he smells food, he'll make his way downstairs.
Okay.
Hey.
Morning, all. It's good to see everyone. And he sees Soma sitting there and stuff, and he's just goes downstairs at the table and kind of grab a biscuit.
Okay.
Do you sleep okay?
Yeah, I slept fine. No problems on my end. How about yourself?
All right. Are you a little sweaty?
The extra push-up really did him in.
It was warm in my room last night.
Insight check.
Ooh, it's a bad one.
Why are you so sweaty? What were you doing up there?
I was watching cops. Watching paladins.
That's a 13.
Oh hell no. Yeah, that's a solid 8.
The new up there at the new issue of Garments and Garters.
You can see when he reached for a biscuit, like he's like his arm because it's sore.
Too much cheering yesterday.
Working out.
I may have been attempting to lift myself against gravity while laying on the floor.
That counts. How's it going?
Consider me impressed.
I would say that's about a solid 11 a day.
That ain't bad.
I can see some muscle definition in your arms. I think you're getting buffer.
Let's be
Insight check on
realistic.
that deception.
Let's be honest. If they're
Love our
true
tiny
push-ups, that's actually
boy.
pretty
Wearing
good.
billowy clothes. Oh, you're screwed.
All right, let's.
24.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, but that's fine.
I'm being genuine.
Everybody starts somewhere.
I'm sure they do, and I'm working on it.
The
It's
rest
fine.
of us can blow up a whole house, so.
I mean, I don't really blow it up. I won't burn it down, but that's a whole nother story. And I haven't done that in a while.
And
Okay,
yeah,
11 is pretty impressive considering you're also carrying the weight of your wings when you're doing push-ups. That's
true.
I cheat a little. and
Z's
push
gonna
them
be
to lift
very
myself
quiet
up.
and just start really eating.
Oh my god.
You're doing good.
I think it's smart. You know, every little bit helps when you're getting into fights.
What I was thinking after our dive out to the window during and the shadow fell and we fell to the shadows, I felt it was probably necessary.
I panicked. I am sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I should have been better at that. So I'm trying to get better at it. That's the thing.
We fell with style.
Yeah,
You're still here. That's what counts.
Speaking of style, somebody was very eager to go get dresses this morning, and it
Yes.
seems they're distracted.
Did you get a fancy outfit yet? She's turning to Soma.
As he's like half face of food. I was supposed to get an outfit?
Yeah, for the gala.
We're going to a fancy event.
I'm going.
Well, you'd wanna come with
Not
me,
with
right?
that bounty.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
not.
Well, I mean, he can change how he looks. Can he?
I mean, I can. He just like looks at Sophronia and he just puts his hand. He puts his plate down, puts his hand on your hand. Do you want me to go?
I was hoping you would. I'd like if you went.
Kind of cleans off his face napkin. I'll figure something out. Gives me something to do today.
Disguises are a thing, but this is also the castle. You sure they're not gonna have magic or barriers in place that they're going to catch on to that?
Do they have a lot of those there?
I mean, it is Nelethyr. They have kind of a knack for being cock blockers for magic.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, it would kind of ruin the night if he got arrested.
I'll tell you what, I'll figure something out. And, but I should probably go and take care of it now, if that's... I'll figure something out. He looks at you and just gives you a kiss and immediately runs out, trying to immediately head out into a certain direction.
You guys think that'll
Seems
be
like you
okay,
don't have
right?
Still.
The tea's ready.
It's his
I'll go get
call.
the tea.
His bounty. Price is on his head. It's up to him.
I mean, I don't think other people have disguises. They get in places.
Yeah, places. Don't know so much about this place.
I mean, Aberdeen was already a problem for Medicona and Cammy. I wouldn't doubt
he knows
that
what
there
he's
would be
doing.
issues.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe we can scout the area out when we go get our dresses.
True enough.
But I guess we can go pick them up now, right?
Think that was the plan.
I'm gonna start bringing my plates on over so we don't leave a huge mess for...
Dahlia, you're having a face.
This is just my face.
Can you fix it?
You look like you're worried, or what are you worried about? I thought you were excited about the dresses.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Just shit, gravity left. There's already something going on tonight with, the king and all, and...
Oh, you're worried about... Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Well, one thing at a time. Let's go make sure that we are dressed for the occasion, whatever the occasion turns out to be.
Dressed and well armed.
That too. Let's hope we don't need that second part. Be a nice change.
We can hope, right?
Hope springs eternal.
And start to head out.
Then there's reality.
We'll be back to the boys as we head out.
Okay. Team splits up. Some people go in to retrieve their outfits. During this process, Forever stays behind. Is there anything you guys want to do?
Feel like I'm real alone right now.
I'm so alone.
Just Gaiju is just like checked out. I feel like, so I don't know. Hades will get up and just kind of start doing dishes.
Okay. Just
clean up the mess that was made and
squeeze in 5 more push-ups.
He can't. He's burned out. He's out of push-up slots. Anyway, but yeah, he'll just do that, and then I assume once Gaiju returns, we will head out to go acquire our outfits for the evening.
I am level 2 in push-ups.
That's right. Level 0.5.
Okay. All right. During the trip to go get the outfits, is there anything that people going out to get their outfits want to do during the trip?
Not in particular.
Okay.
I'm just kind of following them awkwardly because I think mine was kind of off. Like, if I remember correctly, mine was kind of off the rack, so I think I'm actually set.
Yeah, you're all set. All right.
I still have a slight 1,000-yard stare that deer caught onto earlier, but I follow.
Okay. You all are able to retrieve, if you haven't already picked it up, your outfits from different locations. With time being spent to do that, it's already past midday to go retrieve outfits. We're not going to go through a whole role play of picking up garments, but but you all get ready. If there's a specific way that you want to narrate how your hairs did, you're more than welcome to do so. But we'll wait till Gaji comes back to see if there's anything else that Gaji wants to do before we proceed. So we're going to take advantage of this moment. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'm going to cut it all off again.
Dahlia, can you help me
In the
with my hair?
way.
I'm not very good at it. It usually goes in one long braid.
Oh, I'll be right back. Okay.
Ow!
So we're just moving things forward. Is there anything you want to do after picking up clothing and getting ready for the gala? Anything you want to do, Gaji?
I mean, there's literally preparing for the gala. Like, hi, some shit's going down. We're not going to talk about that.
We're avoiding it.
Well, I mean, we talked about what we know. Do we know anything new?
I mean, I've been using a little animal friend to spy on the others. I don't know much details because it can't get close enough, but there has been mentions of the Queen. I can
She's
try
a real piece of work,
to.
I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go there, but yes. I can try to listen more, otherwise there's one last thing that I can attempt, but
What's that?
sending Juvenile a message.
You ready to do that?
I don't think it's a matter of if I'm ready or not. At the end of the day, I'm just an ex-bodyguard that got framed for killing a king, to which I have gained a pardon for, so...
I feel like this is probably a very good course because two things could eventually happen. One, Juvenile believes you and is prepared for some kind of coup and or attack on his life. Or option two, he believes that this is some kind of ploy and or trap and is prepared for an assassination attempt on his life from you. In turn, protects him from an assassination attempt from somebody else.
But then he
somebody
takes the
that
fall
many
again.
guards, it seems like he's always expecting it. But I suppose it can't hurt to be more on his guard.
Suppose more focused is appropriate.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How would you tell him?
I have animal messenger. It'll take a little bit to get to him, but he will get it. Before I attempt to send that, I assume it's kind of nearing the end hours that I can use the familiar.
Yeah, it's 8 hours, right?
It's based off of my druid level, so I think I only have 5 hours to control it.
Okay, yeah, so if there's one last thing you want to do with it, I'll allow you to do one last thing to the creature before it leaves.
I may try to have it get just a little bit closer to listen in, especially now that it's kind of been there a while and kind of just been part of the habitat, see if it can get any final information.
Okay. Give me a perception check with the creature.
Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. That is a 7.
7. Yeah, unfortunately not. The only thing that you're really noticing right now is it looks like you're not sure which ones are which, but the group that you see, which last time you saw was 22, it's the same 22, but they're wearing different outfits. Most of them are dressed up. They got masquerade masks on. You can't even tell which one is actually Cisne, which ones are the actual citizens, which ones are the mages, or which one's actually Thea.
Okay. I will kind of have it fly off until it disappears.
Okay.
And then I would like to cast Animal Messenger. So that lasts for 24 hours. It is a tiny beast that I can send with a general location and description of the person that I was looking for. It can only deliver the message to that person.
Okay.
So I will conjure up another white raven. Smaller, more elegant. And I will give it my message, which I typed up, so let me find that real quick. Okay. Beware Cisne and Phinia at Gala. If you can find in your heart to trust me, allow me to protect you one last time. Kosh.
And who are you sending this to?
Juvenile. And I will send it out to the castle.
And you send it through Animal Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I dig it. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before you guys start officially getting ready?
So what'd we decide? What do we do if shit starts going down? I know I ain't up for watching a king get killed. Blessing, it's something I know I want to see happen, and I don't know that I want to see that here. Or whoever would follow after. So I'd try to stop it if I could.
Cisne and Phinia have 20 soldiers with them. I assume they're more well-trained civilians than actual soldiers. But 20 people is still a lot. I don't know who they're going after. It could be Juvenile, it could be the Queen, it could be someone else. All I know is that something will happen tonight.
Well,
I
here's my
cannot,
thinking.
in good mind, stand beside and let anything happen. So
I'm the same. Here's my thinking. It's a place where ain't nobody supposed to be getting killed. Ain't nobody supposed to be getting hurt. If I see that start happening, I'll try and stop it. We all
Whatever
pretty much
y'all
agreed
decide
on
to
that?
do.
Have your back, do whatever you decide.
Yes. So who needs their hair done?
Help!
I definitely need help.
I already had a dagger out.
Don't do that.
My eyes!
Well, there's this awesome thing called gel. Let me show you. Start messing with everyone. I'll start doing the girl's hair.
Okay. Start working on the hair. Everybody starts getting all prepped. Does anybody want to explain what it looks look like before we continue?
Gotta pull the photo up again because it's been 2 weeks. Please stop biting me.
Never.
Damn it, photo, quit biting me.
She immediately goes to bite
And
your
she
arm.
immediately going to bite you again. It's like, what the heck, Luna?
She's so angry. I left her at my parents' this weekend.
Oh.
So I have the pretty long, flowy red dress with the V cut and the leggies showing. It's that maroon and gold look, and then I'm guessing, Dahlia, if you want to explain, probably like a whole bunch of braids and updo and
I did braids in an updo.
yeah.
It's whatever you want, BB. I'm here to make it happen.
Dahlia did braids and an updo, and it's just all curly and fluffy and pretty.
It's so fluffy.
It's so fluffy.
We're gonna play this game. For anybody who's watching the stream right now and follows us on Discord, go to the general for 1.5 and see an outfit.
I'll play this game.
All right.
I
have-
will say. Oh, go ahead.
I have the kind of it's kind of there's red, which is unusual for her, and it's kind of a little gladiator skirt looking thing, and the leathers that go with that, and then her her usual silver armor kind of has a little bit of a gold. We've added a little bit of kind of a gold accent here and there, and then the big white cloak that goes behind her.
Excellent.
Okay.
Hair out of the way. I think we did just kind of a pin curl sort of situation
Ooh, pretty.
with lots of that gel that Dolly. It feels weird, but it's out of my way.
That's
Gaiju has his hair back in the new dreads that are about, chest length. He's got a kind of like filigree chest plate piece with a nice pair of I think it was sun pants, and a wrap with like a not fishnet, but like the Egyptian bead style netting over top, that kind of like a sash over the chest, and then, as per usual, a shit ton of jewelry everywhere.
Fair.
Gravity, do I have permission to share your sketch in the 1.5 general chat?
Sure.
Excellent. Now I can pull it for reference. So Dahlia has the skankiest outfit for sure, and that's how we like it. It is a kind of a one-piece dress, but it comes just across the chest, separate, and it comes down to form kind of a loincloth skirt with slits down the sides. It's got a lot of silver jewelry all along the hips and the neck and arms, and it is a like a royal blue that fades to a like silver blackish ombre as it goes down. It is very sheer, but the bits are covered, so I won't get turned away at the door. And I've got laced up, kind of like gladiator heels, and a shit ton of jewelry. And her hair is pulled back. She's got bangs, but her hair's pulled back in a high ponytail, and her curls are just out. And I look hot.
Gotta look hot.
It's in the 1.5 general chat, because Gravity sketched it like a boss.
So Hades is in a jet black suit, very Dracula Transylvanian style looking, with a very wide open thing with a vest and a bright white shirt. He's got these long, kind of shouldery cape things coming off with a long cape that almost flows out the back, and it's open in the back for his wings, and the inside of it matches the red of his wings. And on the edging, he's got the skull of some ravens coming down on each side. And then his hair is just sexy old man silver fox style going up and out to the side.
Hey.
Okay.
Are his biceps peeking through his jacket now that he's
No,
getting
but
his
it's
long?
It's
Snug.
might be magically implanted padding in there to make him look a little more buff, thanks to the tailors.
For anyone in chat, I have included the Discord link if you would like to join it.
nice.
We would love to hear from you.
Cool. All right. With everybody getting prepared, it gets later in the afternoon. With the event going on and you all being recommended to get there a little bit earlier to make sure that due to any kind of problems, you can still make it there on time. At this point, coming up to the actual house itself is a procession of 2 carriages just sitting there waiting for you as one gentleman immediately comes down, elven, very, very high pointed ears that has like an earring that covers like every piece of skin. So he immediately comes over and one hand behind his back and knocks on the front door.
We'll answer it.
Greetings. I will be your transportation for the evening. If you are all ready, please. These rides are on the service of the king.
Thank you. Everyone ready?
Who's gonna talk in the next?
Ready as we're gonna get.
Are you coming with? Did you find a plan?
I have a plan. I'll meet you there.
Oh, okay. Someone's gonna meet us there. I think he's got a plan, so should do good.
As you see these 2 large carriages, each one being led by a total of 4 horses, these carriages each can hold 6 people in them comfortably. Each one itself has a small bar counter where you can actually have yourself wine and champagne. Almost like a limo of carriage rides. As
Fancy.
steps go
I
down,
think
there's
this
immediate
carriage cost-
person that lets you in. And you are all set.
Just picturing a TARDIS of carriages. You would walk in, it's just so much bigger.
Is it one big? You said it's one
Costs
big
more than
carriage?
my mom and
2.
dad's house.
2?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to ride separate.
If you say that
Right.
out loud, the gentleman immediately interrupts. If by all means you would all be together, that's perfectly fine. Our king thought it'd be fortuitous to have you have 2 carriage rides just in case if you needed more space to yourselves. But if you all want to share one, by all means, go ahead.
I'll stay with y'all.
We're all going to the same place. We can all take one.
And we're all supporting our
Perhaps.
champion.
Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to have a decoy.
So
We could perhaps
Go
send in the first one, and we'll go in the second.
Immediately, the driver of the first one immediately looks at the guy. It's like, decoy? Was something going to happen? I wasn't hired for this.
No, just a safety precaution.
Oh. Okay. I'm not a soldier.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Okay. All right. He just immediately kind of like pets one of the horses, be like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
that's some shit I would do.
I'll get in the
Like,
second
yeah.
carriage.
I'm following him, getting in the second carriage.
Okay. So everybody's getting a second carriage?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Hades will kind of help everybody. Like he'll wait and like give a hand to help everybody in.
All right. As you all get in, driver immediately closes the door behind you, lifts up the actual steps, locks it in. As you all have a comfortable red leathered with these very nice curtain drapes with these little shelves that can make you different kind of drinks while you're on your ride. As immediately a sliding door just opens as the driver. The ride will take a little bit. We need to go through a couple barriers to get there. If you don't mind, just make yourself comfortable. It'll probably take us about 20 minutes.
Understood. Thank you.
Sorry, but what do you mean, barriers?
Well, we gotta pass the guards.
Oh, like physical barriers, not like a force field of some kind.
Well, I don't know if they put anything up yet. I know there's eventually going to be one to go up.
Well, what does it do?
What, the force field?
Mhm.
As far as I know, it just stops magical intruders entering or exiting.
Does it stop magic entirely? I don't know much about magic, so I'm just interested.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just a driver. I'm not a mage by any right. I've never even tried to learn any spells, so I've never really taken the time to even ask the questions of the ifs, ands, and buts. But I'm sure they can answer those questions for you once you make your way over to the castle.
You're all right. We just curious is all. Shouldn't be a problem for anyone here, I assume. So.
Oh no, not at all.
All right, fantastic. Well, all of you feel free to have a drink, too, whatever you want. And if anything comes up, I'll let you know. He immediately shuts the door. Immediately, you can just hear the pull of the horses as immediately a first tug goes in and starts going smoothly from there.
Wouldn't help but happen to understand or hear him say, "Nothing magical in, nothing magical out."
Yep.
And should keep that in mind.
I popped some champagne.
Gonna get lit, yo.
Does anyone want some? This is really nice, it looks like.
Sure, a little.
I'll
I think this
take a
carriage
little
is worth
bit.
more than my mom and daddy's house. I hope
This
they're
is-
all right.
I'm sure they are, Dira. They're resilient.
I mean, I know we've been checking in, but I just don't like them not having a roof over their head. I'm sure they got something now. This is just, it's so much. Anyway, we're going to a party, right? Right.
I'll keep a clear head, but you girls enjoy a little bit.
Half is fine.
I'm in the same boat as Gaiju here. I feel I'm going to keep a clear head this evening.
Like this much.
They're like, fuck, more for me. Pops in and just starts drinking out of the bottle directly.
We're not getting crazy here, but this is really nice champagne. I'm not
getting
gonna
out of C2E2.
stop it.
C2E2 Friday.
What happens at C2E2 stays at C2E2.
The problem with that is, no, it does not.
Yeah, right.
You were the one with the video camera out, my dear.
Hopefully we do not come across any open skyways or bridges.
Twerk contest, you and me. Let's go.
As eventually the carriage slows down after about 5-6 minutes, you eventually get to the first guard post. This is the first one that regular civilians can't pass. As you get to a large bridge, this isn't necessarily the bridge attaches the castle, but it's what separates this spot of the land from a large chasm that connects to the land of what mostly is noble plot land, along with the actual castle itself. Immediately, you can hear the front carriage immediately pass off some information, as you can just hear some guards moving around, just kind of checking some stuff, not being too observant, just kind of just looking at some stuff. Are y'all good? Head on in. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it keeps going on for it. Immediately, you can hear everything just shut. Smooth sailing from there. Anything you guys want to do during the next part of this, as the carriage ride continues?
I would like to keep popping my head out the window and see where we're going and what we have to go through.
Same, just kind of watching the scenery go by.
Okay, as you look outside, you're able to notice that you're on a really, really large, wide and long brick bridge that's going over what seems to be at least a 300-foot deep drop over water. The bridge itself is quite long, as it takes about 2 minutes to cross it. From where you started seems like the main spot where a lot of businesses are and residential district, and we're going to seems like the spot of Nelethyr where there is a lot of really, really large, expensive homes, and in the distance, the castle itself. It literally looks like this large chasm separates rich from poor.
Ain't subtle here, are they?
Do you really need this much? These houses are bigger than the barracks we stayed at.
Dahlia, before we get inside, could you spare us psychic whispers?
Oh, yes, of course.
I
And
think
I'll,
it wouldn't hurt
do the
to
thing.
have. Thank you, love.
I can type. I
Ready
know
or
how to spell
not?
psychic.
Order coming.
Continuing on, it is a bit of a trip from there. You're going through what looks like a King's Road of sorts. A large forest line, but not so thick that it is just forest. About 50 feet off of each side, past the actual trees themselves, are large potlands of mansions, very much kind of like a Hollywood Boulevard. Just maybe just rich politicians, anything like that. Anybody's got some money. And you go through there through some time until you pretty sure that you left out of the actual town lines until you finally got into the main area of Nelethyr. As you start noticing that instead of it just being bridges that separate you, now go to a stop that is a large brick wall. Not as large as like, New Everent, but enough where they can have guard towers up. As immediately hold it there. Immediately check. As you can hear procession of 4 soldiers on each side coming by, and 2 of them are kind of like looking underneath the carriages. Checking behind. None of them look inside, but they keep kind of. One of them you can hear the carriage shake as one of them glides on top to make sure there's nothing hiding on top. Merely pats on the back of it. All right, you're all good. Open it up. All right. As you all can hear, large wooden doors open up. As you guys start passing by, as you start to hear a crowd procession, very much like another business district, but this is very much for the upper class. Where the ground itself is gravel and dirt, now you're going into rock and stone for the floor beneath you. As the door slides and looks at, all right, we're almost there. Maybe another 5 minutes, and then we'll make our way to the front. Just giving you an update if you need to finish your drinks, and then we'll be all set. Closes the door back up.
Thank you.
I'm gonna psychic whispers everyone. So nobody goes out alone and Gaiju stays in sight at all times. Agreed?
Very much agreed.
Agreed.
All right.
Eventually, you start hearing. Oh, go ahead. If someone was going to say something.
Nothing.
Okay.
I was just gonna fuck with Hades.
Okay. Eventually, you start
Oh,
hearing.
he's just staring out the window. He's not even paying attention.
Hades!
Yes, yeah. What?
Did you know the plan, right?
Yes, we're keeping an eye on Gaiju and what's up, right?
You okay?
I'm fine, yes. Just taking it all in, that's all.
Inside check.
15.
31.
Blades of Bahamut.
Oh, he is. He
I
is
see
1,000
everything.
miles staring. He is distracted by something.
Blades of Bahamut, aka trust problems.
Insights are us. Yeah, he is not. He's distracted.
Throughout the process, you start hearing music. The music doesn't necessarily start when you come, but it does sound like you're actually getting to the actual event area itself. The overall music is very much a somber tune, not so much of excitement of a party, but trumpets and different kind of instruments are playing that gives it a more of a start of an evening other than the event that goes into the middle. Eventually you start noticing that the cart slows itself down. Immediately you go to a complete stop as you immediately hear the driver jump down, come around, open up the door, drop down the steps. We have arrived. Please. Immediately gestures his hand out for anybody who wants to use his hand as a barrier to lift himself down, as he puts one hand behind his back.
I'm gonna take his hand down because I'm definitely not used to walking in heels.
Fair enough.
Or long snazzy dresses.
I don't know why you picked those.
Because where else am I gonna wear them? And I've never really worn them before.
Fair, I guess.
But this might be the perfect place to wear them. I'm a little regretting my life choices, but they look good.
You look amazing.
You look good.
Thank you. You guys do as well. Look at us all.
It's pretty shiny.
As you can
Hades steps out of the carriage and just kind of glides to the ground real quick.
This fancy fucker.
And you, sir. That is quite the look.
So snazzy.
Oh, thank you. I feel very odd though after attuning to this. I haven't breathed in like 5 minutes.
That's
Good.
unusual.
I don't know, I'm not hungry or anything. I don't know, I feel odd, but I guess it's a good thing.
At least you're warm.
Am I, please, don't tell me
yeah,
am I
yeah.
warm?
Yourself.
Let's get inside. Let's get you inside. I don't think goosebumps are gonna contribute to the impression that you want to be making here.
Come on. I'll start leading the way in.
Okay. As there's already a crowd of like 100 people going in this place, and it's not necessarily ordered like you got to go in a line. There's big enough doors. We're just letting people come in and out. As it looks like just basically anybody who's been invited or lives on this side of the district is allowed to come. As there is just people of all sorts, mostly with the exception of you and the other people that are part of the tournament, are all nobles of some right. Most of them were in masks, whether they're half masquerade masks or they are full masks that have like their own built-in kind of wig to them. Everybody is pretended to be somebody else. But there seems to be a lot of them that are nobles seem to be wearing very similar themes. It seems like the color right now is red with gold trim that a lot of them are wearing as far as the fashionable style. And a lot of the masks are black with a gold trim. Each mask seems to be decorated off a specific kind of animal, and they all seem to be some kind of deer, elk, or ram.
Did we get masks? Were we supposed to get masks?
You were not told
I
to
didn't
get
hear
masks.
anything about masks.
Not everyone has a mask, but a lot of them do.
Maybe there's some kind of special club or something.
Oh, that's gonna make
its own
things.
ability.
I don't know. They do everything their own way. None of it ever makes sense.
Perhaps the champions are not meant to wear masks to...
I mean,
They
people's meant to know who we are. So.
Makes
I
it hard
already
to
stick out
figure
like I
out.
still with them anyways.
Like a
Just kinda
sore thumb.
take
We're the
it-
center
take-
of attention.
Taking the V formation around got you, the man of the hour.
Okay. As no one specifically calls out anyone who's part of the tournament or Gajo as the winner, just some people, when they notice, they just give like a head nod as like maybe their own subtle way of appreciation without having to physically talk to you. But as you enter in, you're immediately introduced to a large, like, inner atrium that's roughly almost half a football field long. This atrium is simply just that. It is just a sitting area, nothing special, but this is where a lot of people are hanging out right now that don't want to go fully into the main gala area. But at the opposite end of the doors that you go into it, there are large steps, roughly about 20 feet high, that leads further in. You assume based off the sound and the music further in, that floor that it leads to is specifically the area for the gala. But due to the armor that you see decored all over the place, that is also, the gala is probably also the king's throne room. Music starts to move up as it seems like now that a procession of people are starting to come, the event is starting to have more of a hype to it as far as the ambiance is concerned.
I'll link my arm with guide shoes as we walk in.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of keep an eye out for anybody kind of heading towards the throne room that I guess kind of looks suspicious. And 100% trying not to fall in my snazzy heels.
Okay. Give me an investigation check for suspicion. Or you guys should just have a suspicion check.
They look suspicious. Tackle them.
With this group,
Be
totally.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
It was a 8. I'm really focusing on not falling. I almost twisted my ankle, and my wings kind of jutted out a little bit, and I accidentally hit Dira. I'm sorry, Dira.
You okay? All right.
I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
The only thing that you notice, which makes it very difficult, other than you having a tough time balancing, that is hard to get a read on people of suspicion, is a lot of their masks, not all of them, but a lot of them that wear masks, especially ones that cover their face more, they actually turn into someone else when they wear their mask. Their hair changes color, their eyes change color. Some of them even lose their irises in the process while they're wearing their masks and totally change to a different, like, you know, maybe more of an uncommon style eye or more of like a tabaxi style eye. But it's only facial structure, nothing with the rest of the body. Not all the masks do this, but some of them do. Some of them, even when they put on the mask, it looks like it actually kind of like attaches to their forehead. So it actually looks like the horns are actually growing out of their skull instead of it just being a mask itself. Makes it hard to read a lot of the attendants here. But that's pretty much all you can grab.
Do you guys notice the masks kind of change how people look?
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Unfortunately.
At least we know magic still works.
Yeah. Once she points that out, and I notice that, and people kind of shifting and changing, and some of them being a little creepy, just almost as reflex, I'm going to use Divine Sense, which is, I know the other description, thank you. Know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover.
That is how many feet from you?
About 60.
60. Celestial fiend or undead. There is nothing that is within 60 feet of you that matches those descriptions.
Okay. Then I am going to breathe a little easier for the next couple minutes, but I'm very unsettled.
As far as you can tell while you're doing that is that everyone here, that at least are nobles, minus some of the staff and a few nobles, all of them are high elves and pure high elves. No, mixture of any kind of other race in there. The staff themselves are a mixture of wood elves, drows, and an occasional high elf. And then most of the nobles, same thing.
So these are high elves wearing masks with tiefling-looking horns on them?
Animal-looking horns.
Animal-looking horns.
Animal-looking horns,
yeah,
not tiefling.
Not tiefling-looking horns, no. They're
right.
less horns, more antlers.
Okay. I was gonna be like, wow, rude.
Jealous much?
I mean, There are some that were rams, but still.
Wish they were us.
True. Yeah, I mean, some of them ran, so I guess, yeah, but the rest...
But they're
most,
still an animal thing.
Yeah, it's still an animal thing. Yeah, it's an animal theme.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm just kind of taking a post just behind Gaju's right shoulder and sticking close to.
Okay. Fantastic.
Do we go into the throne room or hang here for a bit?
I'm gonna grab a passing food tray and grab a few and hand it out to everybody. Well, we look kind of awkward just standing here, so at least carry these around.
Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to slightly split up and get a feel for who is here, who is still arriving, who's expected to arrive. I have a decent idea of the soldiers that may be coming. If I see any, I can try to point them out. But I don't know if they've arrived yet or not. Could I do like a check? See if any of them have arrived yet?
Oh, the other tournament members?
No. Like the soldiers with Cisne and Phenia.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
Suspicion check.
Sus check.
Sorry, it was insight or
Investigation. Investigation.
16.
As far as you can tell, the description that you saw last of them when they were dressed up, those people are not here.
Alright. I don't think they're here yet, but...
And to be clear, too, what they look like normally, they're not there either. So, neither one.
Gotcha.
Perhaps this is an opportunity for you to maybe find Juvenile and see if your message made its way to him.
This is fair, although I don't know if he has made himself known yet. It's still quite early for the gala. Perhaps it would also aid in talking to politicians or other higher-ups. Gain a few favors here or there, I don't know. See if there's any particular drama that may also be catching the attention of rebels.
Well, maybe some of us go to the throne room and see what we can find out, and some can do some scouting down here.
Fine by me. However you all wish to split. I suppose if I'm looking for Juvenile, I should probably go to the throne room.
I just readjust my arm in there, like...
I guess I'll hang out back here. I think I draw too much attention with the wings to be standing next to you right now.
Fair enough. That's why we've got this.
Suppose going by that logic, I should probably stay back as well.
I'm gonna stick with you too. I don't know how to talk to any of these people.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Go
So,
on then, ladies.
Remember, Zephinia, heel toe when you walk.
I know. I'm trying. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
Z, if you are going to follow, I mean, I would be more than happy to escort you.
I'm gonna take your arm. Thank you.
Of course.
Like wobble.
okay. So, So, remind me how we're separating the group again. Is it Dahlia, Dira, and Gaju, and then it's Zephinia?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Zephinia and Apollo, where are you going?
Just staying in that kind of general area.
Okay. All right. For Gaju, Dahlia, and Dira, as you start going up the steps that head to the throne room, you see this large, and Gaju, you probably have been here before, a large, long probably about 200 feet long giant room, ceiling roughly about 3 floors in height, decorated with much gold and many portraits of kings past. No armor on the walls, but specifically statues that resemble either gods that are served or specific kings that have made their mark on Nelethyr. Behind you, if you decide to make a U-turn going up the steps, it seems like there's steps specifically leading to the royal rooms, and they're currently being guarded right now. There's no like blockage, there's no doors, they're just steps that are currently being blocked by guards. The whole area is currently music playing, many people are scattered around. The first thing you notice around the place, other than the other end being specifically 3 specific thrones, is that on the sides are many trophies and many collections that are roughly about 20 feet apart from each other, each in glass cases. Nearest to the throne are the 2 specific winnings, other than the metaphorical, no longer a bounty on you. One specifically is a chest, which you assume is the actual gold for the winner. And the other one is a clear glass case that has a sword inside of it. People are going up to it, they're like investigating it, they're like reading like the plaque and stuff like that, so it looks like there's a small little journal describing what they know about the sword. Other than that, there's different enchanted items that are kind of scattered around the place. Some of them look like maybe weapons of previous kings, some of them are scepters, some of them are even just what looks like grimoires. But there's just a scatter of things, almost like this is a museum of ancient artifacts in this throne room.
So the sword, does it look exactly like what I saw in my...
From the distance, if you don't walk up to it immediately, it does look like it fits the build.
I'm going to work my way up to looking at it.
Again, no one specifically talks to anybody directly. Okay. You just, occasionally people head nod to you for congratulations if they don't talk to you. But if you decide to head directly to the sword, you do see that there's a plaque beneath it, along with a book that's open to a certain page that's actually marked where you can't actually change the page. It's actually like a permanent bookmark. That looks like it's for a specific rating for the book itself. The book itself is not cased in, it is only the sword that is. The sword itself is within a glass case. From first look, it doesn't look like it's an indestructible case. It's just there to preserve it. As the blade is sitting on there, and the only way you can tell that it actually has a physical blade on it is the glare that comes off of it. Other than that, it looks like there's barely any material to the blade itself, as it is such thin glass that you can almost see right through it. Almost like a perfectly cleaned patio door. Birds running into it, shit. If you look at the plaque, the blade has been named Ultima, the King's Sword.
Yeah, modest around here.
This is a lot of stuff.
What does the book say?
So the book itself goes through a pasture of the finding of the sword. You notice a couple things with the reading. First off, no one has ever wielded this sword as far as history is told. Anybody who's tried has died holding the sword. They believe, based off many historians, that the sword itself chooses who can wield it. Anybody who fails to be a chosen wielder dies immediately by holding the sword. The sword is supposed to give the wielder an extreme amount of power for a temporary amount of time. Since it has never been completely wielded properly, no one knows the extent of what the sword can and cannot do. They only know that it contains a certain kind of magic that is unknown to the current races and its lore. And the only other thing they know is the blade Bahamut. It was originally discovered in Nelethyr 1,000 years ago. And after many people died trying to wield it, The historians found it very prudent to carefully deliver it here and keep it on the production of every Nelethyrian cake since. Every time someone wins the tournament, they're offered this blade. For the past 100 years, no one has chose to claim it. There is a scripture on it of what it actually says on the blade, as there is a specific writing on the blade that seems ancient that the historians tried to decipher. One of pure blood, one of the original race, one of honor, and one of the gods. This person can be only one that can be wielded.
Well, that's a little more than it said on the tin. I don't know, it's all so weird.
Does any of this line up with your dream?
I mean, I still don't know who it was that was holding it. It was just, they were fighting these weird creatures.
Well, if it's a sword that
Dragon didn't seem so happy about it.
if it's a sword that chooses someone, and you had this vision,
I don't know. Maybe it's a warning, though. I mean, how do y'all... It's all just jumble. How do y'all deal with this stuff?
I've been asking myself that question for a little over 10 years.
They don't tell you why, they just dump stuff in your head, ain't you?
tell me about it.
Don't want to go thinking that I'm special because... Or that I'm meant to have it just because of that. Could be a warning, could be... I don't know.
It could be,
just-
but it's interesting time, don't you think?
It's been interesting times since Elfeed.
I forgot one part of the passage.
Okay.
It's a piece of two.
Ah. Now, is that part of the inscription, or is that in the book?
It's in the
Passage
book.
of the book.
It's in the book. It's a piece of two.
A piece of two.
Mhm.
So that there are two identical, or...
The scripture says that when its twin meets up with it, it'll become the one sword.
Okay. So it's... Maybe that's why
Is it-
nobody's been able to use it, ain't the whole thing.
Does it say anywhere in the scripture who previously wielded it
No one
1,000
has
years
ever-
ago?
That they don't know. They found it. They just found it. It was just there. No one knows who brought it there, who left it there. There was no bodies. It was just found.
Well, guess we've seen it now. Sort of. It's real hard to see, isn't it?
Well, this is one of the prizes, right? So we'll be getting this?
If
No.
if he wants. That ain't nobody decided to do that for 100 years. What happened the last time 100 years ago, I assume? When you say tried to wield, does that mean like try to hold it at all? Or
It just says try to wield. If you want to ask
Okay.
somebody about it, you absolutely can, but this is just the information that's coming from the scripture. If you want to investigate it further without actually like breaking the glass, anybody can give me an investigation check on the blade by looking at it to see if there's anything that kind of grabs your attention.
I'm going to try that, which is going to be hilarious. That is a 5 minus 1 for a 4.
Fantastic. I mean, as I described, the
I
blade
can hardly see it.
it matches a standard longsword. It's just that the blade itself is made out of very, very specific kind of glass that makes it look like it's not even there. But the handle and the guard itself is pretty much standard steel.
I would like to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put a hand on the Sword of 10 Realms.
Okay. All right. Okay. You put your hand on the sword. You. Wait, I'm gonna use my new die. I got new dice.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh god, they're such tucked in here so tightly. Okay. As you just grab a hold of your sword, the sword itself seems to have, only you can hear it, but seems to have a hum to it. And it just slowly reverberates a bit. And only you can hear it, Gaju, is the slight hum to it, almost like a tuning fork.
Does the hum change when I get closer to the sword?
When you get closer to the sword, it gets stronger.
I'm gonna just carefully slip out of Dahlia's grasp. Just in case something happens. I don't really want her getting hurt too.
What are you doing?
Something about this sword I need to test. Just being wary. So yeah, I would like to go up to the case as best as possible.
Okay. Okay. You can only get so far, but I mean, like, there's no ropes. You can physically touch it. So yeah, gotta pray to it.
Does the Sword of 10 Realms react in any other way?
Just the humming.
Well, it is definitely a blade of Bahamut. I don't know if it has anything to do with my sword or not.
Maybe
I
the
don't know.
scepter?
I believe the scepter is complete.
Who has the scepter? Hades does.
Why is that funny?
Nervous laughter.
I'm in danger.
Well, maybe we can bring
So-
Hades over here later and see.
So, over Psychic Whispers, well, they said ain't nobody claimed it, but I mean, if you don't try to wield it, maybe you're okay. I think we do want to maybe have it not here. We talked about that, right?
Yeah. So now we will contemplate that. Maybe Hades will have some ideas.
Okay.
I should probably continue wondering about, but if you two would like to continue pondering it, you're welcome to.
I'm gonna stay right at Gaju's shoulder.
Yep, I go to his other shoulder.
With him.
Relink my arm.
Okay. All right. To Zephinia and Hades, what are you two doing?
Trying not to fall.
Trying to help her not fall.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I missed the point. What are we, like, the area that we are in currently?
You're in the opening atrium.
Okay, just people kind of like hanging out, mingling.
Yeah, I mean, so people are kind of coming and going. Some people are like outside, some of them are in the atrium, some are hanging on the steps, some of them going into the actual Gala throne room. They're kind of coming back and forth. There's no like major, like, no one's actually telling them like this is where you need to go. Right now, it's just kind of everybody can come and go as they see fit.
Got it, okay.
Do we see any of the knights that had competed?
There's a few there. You specifically, right now, the main ones that grab your attention, there is One that you haven't met yet, which is Rule. Rule is the Black Knight. You see the Orange Knight, the Samurai, which is a Van, and you see his second, which is the one you guys would have had to fight if it was in the proper order. That is the Vedia, and you see, where's the other one? You see Edmund, the Blue Knight.
Well, do you want to go walk over by the Blue Knight? I kind of fought under his colors.
Well, I'm sure I didn't meet any of them, so I don't really know much about them.
I feel like I should say hello and maybe just make our presence known here.
Sure, wherever you would like to go. I am at your service.
I'm gonna start wobbling that way, not gracefully whatsoever.
Do my best to support. I will actually move a wing out and kind of around underneath your wing to help kind of support you.
Give you like a little thank you smile.
Of course, my pleasure.
As you walk close to Edmund, you immediately see these two medium height, but for you pretty tall, Yankees come immediately and immediately stop you, wearing blue armor. As he immediately turns around. Oh, no, it's alright. They're all good. Immediately they just kind of open up their path. As you can see, he's wearing what looks like a long black, suit. And then he's wearing kind of like a black and blue, sash down that has the colors of what you can assume is either his kind or his specific kingdom that he serves, which has the symbol of the dragon on it.
Hi again. I just wanted to come over and say hello and thank you for sponsoring me. And I'm sorry I didn't win, but I got pretty far.
Oh, it is quite alright. As he immediately just takes your hand and he immediately just gives it a very, very, very over-the-top kiss on the top of the hand.
Thanks, I guess. Well, do you know anybody else here?
I don't take time to know too many other knights other than Sir Roland, of course. But most of the knights I am not friends with. And I do not make it too common to make my way over to Nelethyr, so it's not too often that I have times to actually converse with many of them. But I know a few pieces of information. Points over to the Black Knight over at Roll. Be careful of that one. I've had some dealings in the past, and he is a schemer beyond belief. And he points over to Avanin, the Orange Samurai. I know very little about that one, but I'll be honest, it scares the shit out of me. As you can see, Avanin is the only one who decided not to put on a suit. He is still wearing the exact same armor that he wore before.
What about him worries you so much?
Look at him. Who the fuck comes to this kind of thing in huge ass armor like that? Helm and all. Wearing his sword?
Perhaps he just feels it's always prudent to be prepared.
Immediately just finishes his drink as he takes it down. Manzi needs to try to wear a suit once in a while. He kind of straightens up his coat a little bit. There's no place for such war garbs.
I guess, but the guards are still in their uniforms. They're not the worst thing ever. He just misses out on being fancy.
Teach his own. Especially when the Githyanki kind of go down and whisper into his ear. Very well. I have some business to attend to. If you'll excuse me. As one leads, the other one is behind him as they start walking off.
While he's doing that, can I listen to see if I can hear what he said?
What the Githyanki said to him? Perception check.
Okay, that's a roll roll of a 19 plus 6 or 25.
My lord, the meeting with the riders is any moment now, and they prefer punctuality.
Psychic whispers. Did you happen to catch what he said?
Yes, and I kind of broadcast and out loud say, like, apparently the Blue Knight is planning to meet with the riders, punctually needed there as soon as possible. If that means anything to anybody.
You do see where he goes. It's not too far. He does go, like, to the top of the steps, but not into the gala room. You can see he meets up with 2 specific soldiers. These soldiers might not be exactly the same ones that you guys encountered, but these are the Dragon Riders, or at least part of their core.
It would appear that he's meeting with the Dragon Riders.
These are the ones that originally attacked the ship, right?
These
Or was following the ship?
they're not exactly the same ones, but they're wearing the same armor
From
Okay.
the same
core.
from the
team.
same force,
Mhm.
same group. Well, that's interesting. Wonder
He
what
didn't
they're
quite-
here about.
He didn't quite trust the other 2 knights that we see, the Black Knight and the Orange Knight. Just so you guys know, Orange Knight's still in his armor.
That seems to be his thing.
Or he's prepared
his-
for something.
What's his issue with the Black Knight?
Said he's suspicious. Shady.
That's it?
That's it.
That's helpful.
I mean, he's
course,
kind of
he's
suspicious and shady right
shady
now talking
himself.
to the knights.
Well, and I mean, he's got some funny ideas. Maybe not so much as Roland. They're a pair.
You can say that again.
They're a
Has
pair.
anybody actually spoken to the Orange Knight?
Haven't had the
None of us
pleasure.
has, I don't think. Maybe we should change that.
I think we might. And I'll be like, Stephanie, would you accompany me?
Gladly.
I'm
Wobble
sorry.
on over.
I'm sorry, Trixie.
Okay. You head your way over there as the Vedia immediately just walks in front of you. What do you want?
I was in the tournament. I just wanted to
I know you
introduce
are.
myself. Oh, okay.
We felt it prudent to introduce ourselves to all the knights, and the companion Trixie here, as a valiant fighter, would learn much from other people of that stature. And if talking to our said orange friend over here would, make some connections to later on perhaps learn of their fighting style and ways to improve her combat abilities.
Do either of you speak Aquayan or Abyssal?
Yeah, ooh, I speak Abyssal.
Okay. She immediately turns around and speaks kind of a ancient version and looks at him. They wish to speak to you. They were one of them was another tournament contender. Just kind of like looks as he kind of raises his helm to kind of look through the eye holes of his helm. As he just stops balancing on one side with his sword. He just puts it on his side and kind of holds it into his actual cloth. Let them proceed. As he speaks in the same language past as she just moves away. She just looks. Your funeral.
I'm gonna introduce myself in Abyssal. I don't mean to bother you, and I thank you for seeing us. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Trixie. I fought in the battle, and I wanted to get to know all the knights.
Just as you can hear him just, breathing inside the actual helm as he kind of like looks up and down, and he looks past you over at Hades and looks up and down.
So I didn't get to see your battle. How'd it go?
One got as far as one can get, and no further.
You got no further, or your opponent got no further?
I was able to defeat so many opponents, and obviously I did not win all the way to the end, but I got far enough.
Same here. Very similar. Have you been to galas before?
It is not my first, but it is definitely not my scene.
Good talk, Hades. You got any questions?
Sorry. The random animal was trying to eat something it shouldn't have.
Oh no!
It started chewing, and I'm like, oh, god damn it. Anyway. He'll just be like, so, your armor is quite impressive, sir. Where does it hail from?
This is Aberrus Metals. Have you been?
I'm afraid I don't know much about metals in Aberranth, or anything of that nature, but perhaps you could enlighten us further. It's an interesting hue. I really appreciate the orange.
I'll be honest, orange is definitely not one of the colors of Aberrus, but it is definitely my tribe within Aberrus, so he just like looks at you and he like looks around as he just kind of puts his head on his helm, as you can hear like some clasps click as he kind of takes them off, and he kind of like pops open like a couple vents as he lifts off the helm. As he just pulls it down, as you can just hear like this heavy weighted armor come off of him. As you see this scarred gray Triton within the armor. Just immediately take it off. One eye partially blind. One ear almost torn off. He takes it off. As he just looks at you. Put out your hands. He just drops in your hands. You immediately, not even a strength check, you immediately like just drop it down like it's a box of bricks.
Oh.
Easy there, Piccolo.
Really strong.
Quite impressive how heavy this is.
He just grabs
I'm
it
gonna
back.
kind of help Hades a little bit because I know he's struggling.
He just grabs it with one hand, picks it back up.
It is that's just quite the impressive garb you have there, and just have a very strong neck.
This armor has been passed down to my father, his father, and his father before him.
Got quite the legacy.
Just looks over at the Fedia. And whenever I pass, it'll go to her.
You have a daughter?
I was not blessed with children, but she's the closest thing to it.
Well, I'm sure she's very honored to receive such a wonderful possession.
Like, unable to know how to really, like, talk, he just keeps, like, answering questions with a closed-ended, like, statement. It's like, yes, I am very proud.
You see me, like, shifting on my feet really awkwardly because I've kind of reached the end of what I can say and ask. I'm gonna, Psychic Whispers, Hades. I don't think we're getting much more out of this guy. Should we walk away?
I think we excuse ourselves. I think we've learned quite a bit about him. He seems,
Gary?
for the most part, scary but honorable, at least. I feel as though in a situation of problem, we might be able to look his way for some assistance.
Very true. Seems noble enough.
Well, if he's honorable, it kind of explains how our friends are scared of him.
Hades will kind of like just like, can I make a history check to see if I know anything about Tritons?
Sure.
Their society?
Yep.
That would be a 13.
So Triton's merfolk, they mostly congregate in Abris, as Abris is mostly a whole kingdom that is a water kingdom, as they do need to at least be in the water more times than not, usually with webbed feet, webbed hands. It's not like they can't go out on dry land. It's just, water is their more common area to be in. Based off of his coloration and his look, it looks like he really takes off his armor due to the gray pigment of his skin. Otherwise, they naturally have a purplish, bluish, cool color skin to it. Their ears usually pointed up in a fin shape. Due to his damage, you assume both his ears are technically damaged.
Do I know anything of hello, goodbye customs, real general?
There's nothing as far as customs to the race, but as far as Abris as a whole, you do know that Abris has two distinctive kind of groups as far as the way that they're raised. There is the newer Abris, which is very similar to any other race, where they just have the regular customs of handshakes, the standard goodbye, hello. He seems to be part of the old traditional Abris, which follows kind of a similar thing to a samurai code, which is kind of a bow as far as it.
Okay. I'll just psychic whispers to Z and say, just follow my lead first for a second. And I'll be like, well, it was our honor and pleasure to converse with you and to meet you, good sir. Perhaps this shall not be our last time ever meeting, and I hope you have a wonderful evening amongst these fine folk, and I will kind of do, as much as I can duplicate the bow.
Okay. He does.
He's gonna brace a wing against Hades and bow.
Okay. He does bow too. Saveria also bows as he lifts himself up. It was a pleasure talking to you both. People rarely talk to me at these events. As he does it very straightforward with no emotion, it does mean the world to me.
Of course, I understand the feeling of not necessarily being over the popular at things of such nature.
I do not get home much, and people usually fear me due to my disfigurement, so I wear the helm quite often, which I believe brings out more fear, so I appreciate the conversion.
We all have our scars.
And if you get bored, we're around.
He bows again to you. It was a pleasure. So he lifts his head back up and puts his helm back on.
Yeah, I try to bow lower than him as a sign of respect.
Fair enough. He steps back up, puts his helm back on, as everybody looks at. As she just smiles at you, and she puts her hand on his shoulder.
And I kind of try to take Z's arm again, and I'm like, shall we, my dear? Just try to play a role.
Okay.
Gonna wobble on away.
Okay. At this point, all of you start to hear trumpets as the music starts to quiet itself down. For the people that are in the throne room, you may look back as immediately a procession opens itself up. As you see on each walkway coming down from the next floor is 5 soldiers. Looks like the regular Nelethyr guard, but they're wearing a little more gold. You assume this is maybe like the honor guard that is coming down. But same paladin look. And then eventually you see the main squire come down. Everyone, welcome to the King's Gala. May I introduce King and Queen, as they immediately just start stepping up as he just gently gestures to her, and one walks down the right side, the other one goes down the left side as they match each other's speed, as they just rest their hands on the railing and they just take one step at a time as everybody goes quiet as they come down. Slow music starts to go as they go down each step a little bit further. As they start walking, everybody's quiet. Space is moved as they start slowly making their way over to the actual throne. As she just stops as he moves up to his spot, he sits. And she turns to her spot and then she sits. As he just looks, he just raises his hand. Welcome all. But for now, before we get to any kind of politics, let the music continue. Resume. At this point, instead of it just being walking around, immediately stuff is reset around the room, where the floor in the middle of the whole gala is now dance floor. As everybody starts doing specific dances of Nelethyr per every song.
Yeah, psychic whisper. Well, since he's down now, I guess we keep our eyes open for anything suspicious, anybody moving towards him.
Indeed.
With this point on, people that want to talk to him must go in a line. This line starts from the dance floor to him. Each person going through. And it looks like the way they have to do is they need to do the bow or gesture of whatever they represent. And it looks like each person, or at least most of them, have some kind of offering, whether it's gold from their estate or some kind of food, something like that, as a tribute to the invitation here. Occasionally a knight comes up, especially the first one that comes up is Roll, as it looks like he is unrequired to bring up any item, as he was invited directly for this without having any requirements to come. Some people specifically give an offering to the queen, but most people give an offering to the king.
Were we supposed to bring something?
I think we're safe. It doesn't look like the other knight is bringing anything up. We were invited. I guess
The
just
question-
for ourselves.
The question is, do we get in line? Or I look out the dance floor with a little sparkle in my eyes. Or should we get some information in a more fun way?
I'm a little worried on your idea of fun.
That don't look
It's-
like fun to me, but I can keep an eye on things.
Dancing
if you wanna
is
do it that
fun.
way. I
And it
don't
makes for very good
understand a
eavesdropping.
thing that they're doing. They're going over there and then over there and then somehow they're over there.
Maybe.
And
I don't know, Dahlia. Last time we danced, it was not the best.
Well, I think things there were a little different, but still.
I also
mean,
do believe
that's
they're not pumping something into the air right now to make
Yeah,
it
that.
stay on the dance floor.
But anyway, I think that's Dahlia. That's your home turf.
I'll go guide you with puppy dog eyes.
At this point, doors are closed to the actual castle itself. Not the gala room, but just the castle. As now anybody who enters in has to be invited in and has to be announced. So occasionally, every 5 minutes, someone comes in, announce like Lord and Lady of etc. etc. etc.
I'm gonna take my little necklace. Did you make it in?
No response. It also seems like whatever's happening, the necklace is not working.
Hello?
Hi?
Not you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you holding your necklace there.
Can you hear me?
You can
Someone?
definitely tell that something about the stone that you have on your pendant is not working.
I don't think it works.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sure he's here somewhere.
As Hades like, yes.
Hey, don't you mad at my character for me?
I will go dance with my fiance.
Yes! Yes.
I will find a suitable spot off the edge of the dance floor and watch them and watch people and
I
wish
will
that I had
occasionally-
not been talked out of wearing my goggles because I was told that they would look awkward. They would not go with my outfit.
Currently, right now, many of the dance styles is like old 1700s, like old like Victorian gala dances that are going on right now. As unless you two are familiar, unless the rest of you are familiar with the dance, it takes a little bit for you to get used to. A lot of it is specifically not touching as it is passing around to different partners and switching back and forth as you dance around throughout the whole room.
Well, that looks terrifying. I'd rather be in battle.
I'm going for it.
Kinda seems like a fight in itself.
I don't know. I
Fight
think
for
for some of
survival?
those folks it is.
If you want to dance on the dance floor, you can give me a performance check. If you're a dancer with a partner, I'll allow you to give me a performance check with advantage.
Let's go, fiance. Let's show them how it's done.
I mean, Dahlia will be dancing with a partner who grew up here, so.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Even with
Hey,
advantage?
Hey, Miss Tiffany, are you in the room now?
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 2 natural
Or are you
ones.
still in the anteroom?
I'd
I'd say
assume
so.
probably.
Okay, then I'll probably drift over and join them.
Okay, got you. What'd you
I
get?
rolled a 1 and a 3 for a
Mm.
total of 4.
Okay.
Oh no!
I got an 18 if that helps.
Even though Gaju's familiar with this, maybe Gaju never really practiced the art of
was the
how to do this.
bodyguard.
Yeah, and throughout this, Dahlia, it takes you a little bit to figure it out, but you're able to figure out. And throughout this dance, you gotta switch partners. And you know, like whenever you do like a wedding dance, like you're trying to get the vibe, but somehow you keep running into people. Like Dahlia, you're kind of figuring out, but like Gaju, somehow you miss the rhythm and you accidentally go with like the wrong partner, and like where everybody's going right, you accidentally go left, and it starts getting really awkward.
Gaju did grow up here, right?
That's what I understand. Oh,
This is fine.
where
Yeah.
did
You-
he?
you know what,
That don't
in
look right.
In his defense, he was not a dancer, he was a soldier and all those things. I highly doubt that he's ever probably done most of this.
It's like the person does the Cupid shuffle, but backwards.
You'd think you kind of need to, but it has been a long time.
Well, there was this one time, actually, during that 10 years where we were at this bar, and the two of them tried dancing, and his hooves hit this wet beer spot, and he totally ate shit and went down, taking out half of the bar stools. It was actually quite
no.
hilarious.
Oh,
Humble with grace.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Should
well,
we
that's
somehow
the tavern's fault for having beer on the floor.
save him?
He'll be fine.
You got
Oh,
this.
look, Dahlia's.
We only
Dahlia's.
have psychic whispers.
Can I?
We don't want to
be
distract you
eavesdropping?
any more than you already are.
Mhm.
Can I be
You're
eavesdropping
doing
while
good.
we go?
Sure.
Same.
What are you eavesdropping on?
I'm just if I can catch little glimpses of conversation with people dancing, seeing if they're talking about a coup or, you know.
Okay, both of you give me perception checks if you're trying to listen in during the dance.
Okay. 22.
22.
I'm too focused on the conversations, is what's going on.
Spooky 20.
Throughout the several dances that you're going through, trying to get as much information as possible, there's a few things that are brought up as common topics. One is, even though this is a celebration for the king and celebration for the tournament itself and the winner, there is another event that's going to happen that is supposed to be a surprise. Apparently, there's supposed to be some major surprise for Nelethyr that's going to be announced tonight, and many people are wondering how this is going to affect their source of income, especially the richer people. Thinking, is this going to be a surprise that's going to cost us money? Is it going to be a surprise that's going to make us money? And that's kind of the main concern right now that a lot of people have. The other conversation is if the winner, some of them know who the winner is Gaju, is going to be the first one to claim the sword. Through some of the conversations, you're able to hear some facts about the sword itself, of how some people have failed. The past few people that people remember who tried to wield the sword, the last one was specifically a high elf that was the prince of that time, grabbed it, was able to hold it for a total of 2 minutes until it literally turned their body into ash by holding it. the blade had to be picked up with a very, very thick cloth that was arcanely enchanted. The person before that was a noble knight that they thought fit the build. He was a tiefling, and he was considered at that time the main thought process for nobility and for honor. He was able to hold it for 5 minutes, and his body turned into glass and shattered. The one before that, the first person who tried to wield it, that they know of as far as memory concerns, was specifically a drow. This one at the time was a mage. Had no noble blood, but was considered a great and honorable female. Was a giving person and was very much the I will never obtain anything for myself, I'll give everyone everything. Was only able to hold it for 30 seconds before her body melted.
I'm gonna be relaying this, what I can gather, through psychic whispers as I am gathering intel.
The only thing that you're able to discern from most people are saying it is a cursed relic that many people actually want to be actually taken out of Nelethyr. Many people think that it is an item that does not belong here, and that no Nelethyrian can wield it. Therefore, it should not stay in Nelethyr.
Dira, what are your thoughts on this?
Sounds like bedtime stories to me, but
I know
one of
for a
those turned
fact.
out to be true.
I know for a fact that I'm not worthy of that sword. But you might be.
I mean, I think it should be taken away from here. I think they're right about that. It don't belong here. There's something, I don't know, it seems like it shouldn't be here. It seems like they should never have brought it here in the first place. I think they had good intentions, but all this stuff here, I don't know. It seems like they think they're the best to keep all these things because they think they're the best.
Is that a risk you're willing to take?
I mean, I think it's. If I feel like from what these stories that you're hearing, it was telling these people they should put it down, and they didn't. Maybe you should listen to it. But
What if we just take it and not chance any of us grabbing it?
what do you mean?
Get it away from here.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I mean to start with. Ain't planning it. I mean they don't. If it's part of your prize, it doesn't mean you have to try to prove yourself worthy of it. You just get to take it with you.
Is there anything written on the blade or anything that could help
It
us?
says one of pure blood, one of the original race, one of honor, and one of the gods. What's the original race? It's elves,
Humans
ain't
and elves.
it? Yeah.
Can I try to do like an intelligence check to see if I can figure any of this puzzle out?
Are you just doing it based off what they told you, or actually going over to the actual glass casing?
I'm gonna excuse myself from Dira and see if I can't walk over to look at it.
Okay.
And I guess, I mean, that's what the book says. It says you can't
Book
really
you
read.
said.
There's a book in front of it.
I will attempt to approach.
Okay, intelligence check, please.
Oh, that's not great. Okay, I'll see. That's 17.
17. Okay. As you read through the book, you're able to use some knowledge that you've already learned in your travels before, and many of the times you've put your head into books. You're able to figure out a few things with this. Based off the wording, you assume that there are 4 pieces of criteria that is required for someone to wield this blade without having repercussions, or at least fatal repercussions. One is they have to be either a pure blood elf or a pure human. 2 is their heart has to be honorable, and they must gain their power from the power of the gods, or at least a god. They also cannot have any blood that has anything of evil in their background. Basically, the perfect knight.
Okay.
As you start to do this, where is the scepter?
It is in the bag of holding
Okay. Where is the bag of holding?
on my hip.
Okay. Your hip starts to burn.
Balls. Like it's lighting on fire, hot burn, or just like a sensation?
It just due to it being a bag of holding, the bag itself is not burning, but it is doing enough to actually burn you by holding it, even though you're resistant to fire.
Okay, I will get my distance.
Okay.
Now feeling this.
Okay.
And I will. Okay.
As you back up, you do notice that for a second while you were there, while this was happening, coloration came to the blade. Colors of both purple and green.
Okay.
As you walk away, the colors themselves go away. Much like liquid filling up in a canister, the colors started filling up in the glass blade itself.
Okay. So I will get my distance a little bit so it stops burning.
Mhm.
I'll get my protection. And I will say, through Psychic Whispers, well, looking at the book and doing what little reading I could this quickly, one of the original races would have to be human, or elf, as Gaiju said. The person who would wield this blade would need a pure heart, somebody who gains their powers from the gods, or a god, and somebody who in their past really has had no bad or evil blood. So I feel as though, in a very roundabout way, Dira, perhaps you would be probably the only candidate capable of holding this blade in this entire party. Not ours, but this party, and all of Nelethyr. The other
Sort
thing,
of stands there and looks very awkward.
the other thing I will say is, upon my approaching of the book and the blade, the bag of holding proceeded to get very warm, to the point of burning even for me as a tiefling.
You don't like the bag of holding?
I believe that the scepter's proximity to the blade has affected it because the blade started to turn green and purple. My guess, because you said that it is half of something,
Maybe that's the other half?
I believe the scepter is the other half. Perhaps it somehow diminishes Harpy Lady's abilities? Or shuts her up for the most part.
So I guess what we're saying is, thing goes with us tonight, one way or the other.
It goes one way or the other, and I believe that it goes to you.
Apollo,
Yes.
give me a perception check.
Can't live my life. Let's see. That's gonna be 24.
24. It does not take you long to notice that as you're talking to people, you start to experience what some of your friends have told you whenever someone contacts them. The room starts to quiet. Time starts to stop. In the middle of words being spoken, mouths freeze in action. Music starts to slow, like a record being immediately pulled off of the needle.
Hello?
It goes quiet. Awkwardly so. Much like if you're in a room of full mannequins. The torches and the chandeliers start to dim to a subtle ambiance glow. Enough so that you start to notice a storm and high winds going outside. Enough to flicker the subtle little embers on there. What do you do?
I'm going to attempt to full Magneto and steal my mental abilities. And
Helmet
I
on.
will. Yeah. Charles, get out of my head! And I will just say. I don't remember the name of the blade that we dealt with.
Which
I will
blade are you
say,
referring to?
Our
Sashimi?
yes, says Ashimi. I will say out loud, says Ashimi, the theatrics are unnecessary, and if you wish to talk, I will listen.
Throughout this place, it starts to get dark. Like I mentioned, it very much feels like a house of horrors. Everybody itself starts to lose pigment. Eyes start to go away, mouths go away, until everybody's just a statue that's not moving in this crowded place, making it a maze to find somebody. You start to hear scratch on the ground, much like when you fought her before. She's hiding between places. As behind you, just hear scratches over someone's shoulder. And as you look back, she immediately just moves like the wind around to another spot.
Again, this is unnecessary. If you would just like to speak to me. I know what you look like. There's no reason for any of this.
Eventually, you just start seeing her creep around a corner right in front of you. Maybe 20 feet away. Not hiding, but she's kind of peeking her head out from someone's side. Keep me away from that damn relic. I don't want anywhere near it.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to give me a reason more than that.
I don't have to give you anything. You have yet to wield my power. The fact that I'm talking to you is because you merely hold the scepter, not the blade.
Now, my dear, that's very rude of you, because I do believe I have learned some vital information, and I think I know what the relic can do to you.
As she just starts creeping out and, like, quickly moves from one statue to another one closer to you, and immediately pecks. You think you know things, do you? Well then. Calling me curious. What do you know?
Well, I believe that that relic is either one half or perhaps a suppressant of you and what you are. My guess is that you are a child of Bahamut, if I'm correct.
Your second part is correct. Your first is absurdly wrong.
Oh, well, then I guess that I will go further then, in my assumption, and see where this lands. My guess is that either your father, or whoever made the blades, knew your personality, knew what you were, and your demeanor, and created a way to use your power but suppress you.
She just keeps coming forward towards you. She just kind of smiles with her teeth out. She's like, go on.
I stand my ground.
She just...
I will...
Good.
I will say furthermore, my guess, based on your personality and lovely persona, would favor somebody of a more nefarious nature, perhaps. Somebody who would be more inclined to do things of a evil nature. But the person who created this other artifact knows that somebody who wields your power, as such, would probably become corrupted by it. Therefore, this artifact counters that, and they would need somebody mainly of pure heart to resist you.
Clever tiefling, but not totally correct.
Enlighten me.
Me being near the blade will not kill me, only the wielder that holds me. The power of the blade can only be activated at the source. Till that point, all the blade does is copy myself to it. blade itself is a hollow. Nothing more, nothing less. Until it has attuned itself with the other blades, my kin is merely an enchanted weapon of great imports. Myself, my brothers, my sisters, you're each a piece of our original timeline, of our original realms, of our original reality. That thing, as she just points out with her claw towards the blade. If you're so clever, do the math. If my brothers and sisters each have a power, we are all extensions of something, that blade must belong to somebody else. Who do you think it belongs to?
Can I make a history check to see if I can figure that out?
Sure.
That is a 15.
15. Based off of what you can tell, all the blades are siblings of Bahamut himself, the Dragon King. Each blade represents a certain element of power. This blade resembles literally nothing, but it's still a blade of Bahamut. Therefore, it is the blade of Bahamut.
Oh, so is this Daddy's blade?
It is.
So, see if I can follow this train of thought here for just a second. What you're telling me is that this blade is a very powerful artifact, very strong in and of itself, but by itself, not strong enough. Once all the blades are acquired and brought to said blade, this one blade would potentially probably be the most powerful item in all the realms.
It would be more powerful than the magic that he even holds himself. But there's still a piece missing. The blade itself is incomplete. It is powerful on its own, but it requires another blade. This blade was, well, Ultima was unique once upon a time, but its original wielder, one and only, after Bahamut, decided to not let anybody else wield it, so it broke it in half, created two swords.
And what would be the second sword?
As you can notice where she's specifically standing, even though the face is flat due to everybody losing their pigmentation, you notice the horns, you know the outfit. As she starts dragging her fingernail down Gaju's arm and starts pointing at the sword.
I see. Well, that is quite the coincidence, isn't it? Would you say that that sword is trying to find that one? And I'll point at the glass one.
I cannot say. The blade itself was broken by someone that was not me and was broken after myself and my kin were shoved into these damned hollow artifacts.
But it was around when you were around, correct?
Ultima was, and he was solid. He wasn't broken when I was around.
Humor me for a minute. What would happen if the two swords were combined again?
It would become equivalent to any one of us, but simply just as the blade that your friend holds, it's already done one of its functions. It opened up the gate to free me. But there's another function it does. Points over to Ultima. With that in sync and in tandem, attuned together, there is one location in all the 9 realms that no one is able to ever get into, or even find. This blade not only shows you where to go, but it gives you access.
And what is inside?
She just kind of keeps reappearing in different spots as she just comes up to you and she just whispers in your ear. His original form. His mortal body. Bahamut. Even a god as powerful as him has a mortal body.
I'm sorry, that was perfect timing with the music. As soon as you said it, went bum 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 bum. So, obviously, not a good thing to reawaken Daddy or disturb said slumber or tomb or body or whatever, I'm assuming.
Oh no, by all means, do it. Once the blade goes into the cradle, he can only be killed with the rest of the blades Bahamut in there. Thus, we are free from these shells to do as you please. By all means, go there. Retrieve the blades. Take Ultima there. Use the key. Kill him. Gain your prize.
And what would that prize be?
A choice. One simply. One that was taken away from his daughters long ago. The choice to reset everything. Kill all the gods. Reset all the time. The wielder can choose what to do with it afterwards. Replace him. Become the new Bahamut of sorts. Name and title. Rewrite the world as he did once upon a time. Do you think that you're the first? Do you think that your kind, this 9 realms that you've existed, is the first of its kind? He's done this before.
Well then. That is quite the outcome, if you would. I guess one last question for you before I decide to make my leave of this lovely conversation that we are having. I am sure that you do not wish to stay alone within your scepter, within your blade. I'm sure there is somebody out there who is symbiotic for you. What do you seek? What do you want?
You mean as a wielder?
Of course.
Someone with strength, determination, a goal set in mind. One that is not so easily manipulated, but understands my goal. And you're clever. Very, very clever. But intelligence only gets one so far. And that is not enough for the God of Wind.
I mean, I have been doing push-ups.
I expect much more push-ups than merely 11.
That's fair.
But by all means, as she just takes a scepter out of your hands, as she holds it, the scepter itself starts to glow. It starts to turn into a large greatsword. As she just tosses it into your hands, assumingly that you're going to catch it. Give me a strength check.
And I forego the strength check and use a charisma because that's based off my spellcasting, and I'm going to try to will my natural ability to control it because it's my mind.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's a working class 20.
Working to that 20. Okay. With this in your mind, you're able to balance the blade on your hand. She looks at you and she investigates.
My dear, you forget. We are speaking in my mind. This is my domain, my place. What happens here is my control. I respect your abilities and your strengths, but I have my own.
Well then, keep up the confidence. As you start to notice that the lights start to increase, fire starts to glow more. As you start noticing pigmentation and facial structures return to people. As time resumes and she disappears, as you hear a whisper, let's see how this goes. As you reappear right in front of, I believe you were talking to Dira before. As immediately,
No, I went to the book.
Oh, that's right. You went to the book. As immediately you stand in front of the book, and then immediately you just notice in your hand is a sword. As you immediately just drop it on the ground.
The scepter that's now a sword.
Yep.
Glance over, because I feel like that would have been a very loud sound in this little room.
Yep.
Same.
I will pull out the bag of holding and like.
Psychic whisper, you
You
okay
alright?
over there?
Imagine the music scratches.
Everybody stops dancing and stares.
Yep. You do have a lot of eyes on you, but you can give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can conceal it without anybody knowing what you actually dropped.
That's a 9.
Okay. About halfway to like cover up the blade, eventually the queen just like looks at you. She just kind of stares at you for a little bit, but she doesn't say anything. She just smiles. She looks away, pretending like she didn't see it.
If there's anybody within the vicinity, he's just like, oh, I apologize. I had a bag of holding incident that's never happened before.
As a procession of the line keeps moving on, time keeps going on as it should. Does anybody get in line?
No, but I would like to keep an eye on the queen, especially when someone approaches her.
Okay. Occasionally, as people talk, and if anybody talks to the king directly, she just listens. She head nods when she's supposed to head nod. She matches him when she's supposed to match him. Occasionally, when they talk to her, she will respectfully nod, and sometimes she'll stand up and she will take the item from them of whatever they're offering. But you notice in between, occasionally she gives looks to specifically 3 to 4 different people. Give me a perception check if you can see the line of sight of where she's looking.
Use of perception.
Correct.
I would like to use my final inspiration
Fair enough.
to reroll. Okay. That is a... Sorry, 15.
15. So, 3 people first. She specifically is watching first because of the incident. She is watching Hades. She is constantly watching you. She is watching another person in the crowd. From where you're looking at this vantage point, it specifically looks like someone who has a mask with large antlers on it and wearing a long blue and green garb on. Very different than most of the others. contradictory to colors for many of the others. The fourth person she's looking at is not necessarily a person, but looks like she's waiting for somebody to be let in the doors. Not like they're being barred out, but it's like she's waiting for them to finally arrive.
In Psychic Whispers, it seems that our queen is looking for a new arrival. Be wary. I'm going to check out this other person.
I'm gonna kind of drift over closer to the doors to this room.
Okay.
Not go out of the room, but like stay at the entryway.
Okay.
Much as I don't want to, do you think we should get in line, distract her a bit?
You suggest I do that?
Not you.
You're the guest
I
of
can.
honor.
I think you should stay far away from her.
I agree. You and Dahlia, you got too many eyes on you. You keep celebrating. Everything's alright. And nobody cares that much about us. I mean, yeah, we were in the tournament, but so were a lot of people. I'm just gonna stay right here by the door, and if anything goes sideways, they'll have to come in here.
If this person that you're gonna go talk to seems suspicious, do we want to be seen talking to them?
I'm not planning to talk to anybody. I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna stand here and wait for any trouble. If it seems like this person she's waiting for comes in.
Good job, Kosh.
The queen keeps looking at that person. I want to know why.
Well, let me come with you.
Right.
Link's arms again.
Okay, so you two are going to go to the masked person. What about the other three people? What are you guys going to do? Dira, Hades, and Symphonia.
I'm just kind of hanging by the entry to from the entryway, the door from the entryway to the throne room, like from the atrium to the front. Just stand there and look without any effort, like I'm very uncomfortable with all these fancy people.
Gotcha.
Keep an eye on the door.
Okay.
How far is Dira from where the king and queen are?
If so, Dira, you're staying within the doorway that separates the atrium from the throne room, then probably about 200.
Okay, then I am not gonna go over and stand in line because I don't want to be that far from Dira.
Okay.
I don't think any of us should be alone. So I'll kind of stand close to Dira. And Gaiju, did you point out who the people were that she was watching?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep an eye on them and maybe move closer to the other set. And while I do, I'm still gonna try my little necklace. Can you hear me now?
So one set is Gaiju, so you already know that. There's the one that Gaiju and Dahlia are going to. There's the door, and then there's who's the first person?
Hades.
Hades, thank you. Yeah. So if you want to watch your own friends, you can. Otherwise, you can watch the door.
There were two other people. I'm sorry. Then I'm gonna stay by my friends.
Okay. So you're gonna go with which friends are you gonna go with? Dira. Okay. And Hades.
With Gaiju saying that she is staring at him, me, and these randos, and seeing that Gaiju and Dahlia are heading that way. I'm going off a gut feeling here that we're just gonna hold on to that. I am actually going to stare directly at the queen.
Okay.
Because I want her to, when she looks at me, know that she's been caught and I'm looking right at her.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. So eventually, as she keeps passing her eyes between the 4 locations, she eventually comes to you, and then she kind of like does a take as she knows that you're looking directly at her. As she decides to give a full focus, she just keeps staring, and then she just does a crooked smile. She just does stares. Eventually, another person comes up, and then she just kind of blinks. Good day. Keeps going through, and then eventually she just looks back at you, and she just continues to stare as you stare at her.
In my head, I think, that's right, I won that staring contest because you looked away. No, he's going to attempt to incite her.
Okay. All right. It is through a crowded room of people, so it's going to be high DC, but it's definitely attainable.
Where's the shot? Here we go. Now. I'm going to burn my 1 inspiration that I do have.
Okay.
Roll again. Okay. That's 24.
Okay.
Shot.
The read that you can get off of her is specifically... Well, what you would know first is... While she's looking at you, she's specifically curious about the sword. She obviously saw the sword, and she's kind of curious to see what you're going to do with it. As far as watching Gaju, you would assume, specifically due to the bounty, she's intrigued with this, just maybe drama with it. The door, you're not quite sure who she's waiting for, but it looks like most people are here. In fact, some people are saying who else is left coming. Nobody really knows. The last person that she's looking at is almost like a bond. Like, it's the person that she's looking at occasionally with the mask looks like... I haven't seen her in a long time. Is she gonna come talk to me? Do I need to go to her? But the one thing that you will get off of her is definitely some machinations. She's orchestrating something. Whether or not the king is aware of it or not, you are unsure, but she's orchestrating something.
Question about psychic whispers. Is it only talking, or can you send, like, mental images?
I think it's just talking. Double check, Dahlia.
Speak telepathically.
So just words.
Okay. And Gaiju saw the person with the horned helmet, right?
Yeah, that's where they're going right now.
Okay.
Unless you stop us from going to them.
Okay. I'm gonna relay through psychic whispers and say, I have looked at the queen. She continues to stare at the 4 locations. Gaiju, the people in the woods, did they know the queen beforehand?
I'm not aware of the civilian militia, but I do know that there was Cisne and Phenia who had connections. I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps this person is one of them.
Then I would... Everyone, be ready. Because I have a very strong suspicion that the Queen is behind the assassination attempt. She seems to know the person in the horned helm, wondering perhaps
perhaps if she should talk to them, they should talk to her, which would be my guess at her starting the party, if you will, and continues to watch the door as though someone should be arriving, whether that be one of the two that she does know, or perhaps that militia. She knows something is coming, she knows something is happening, and she is plotting something.
I'm going to stop. Perhaps I should try speaking with Juvenile then. I don't trust her.
As
Oh, she's
champion
talking
of
to them the way we talk to each other?
It's possible. She's right next to Juvenile, though. What can we say?
I still have awakened mine. I have other ways of speaking to him other than aloud.
Alright.
Have any new people been arriving?
There has no one really been announced in the past 20 minutes.
All right, I'm continuing to pay attention to that and continuing to stand and look like my awkward self while watching the door.
I'm gonna go, dear Sophia, one of you two. I'm gonna look towards like the front door. Are there windows at all looking to the outside?
Yeah, there's on both sides there are actually relatively small windows that you can see out into the woods themselves.
Z, do I know if you have dark vision?
I would assume so.
I think
Okay.
all of you except for
I believe it's-
Dearest have dark vision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
do
so, I was
because
making sure.
I do
Yep.
from my armor.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Oh, you guys both do. Perfect. Okay. I will say, I will not chance it myself due to the fact that she is watching me. But perhaps someone she is not watching needs to go to the windows by the front door and keep an eye out if she is expecting somebody to make entrance from there.
I've got
that's
it.
why I'm by this door.
I'm gonna head over to the front door. I'm gonna grab like a little drink so I don't look out of place and just kind of stand leaned up the window with my
And
drink.
I'm gonna, I'll be kind of the link in the chain. Stay where I am, just inside of the door to the throne room. Keep eyes on Zephinia. Keep eyes on the rest of the group.
Okay. Kaji Dahlia, are you still heading over to the mast?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm
Alright.
just following him.
Okay.
I think I need to go try to speak to Juvenile. You do not have to come with me, but I know you will want to, so. Either you stick by my side, or you go help one of the others.
We stick together.
Alright. I'm gonna start making my way to the line.
Okay. At this point, the line isn't too long. Many people have already given their appreciation, their offering patronage to Juvenile and Ileana. Only maybe like 5 parties behind. That could take too long. Mm-hmm.
Can I do something real quick while they're in line?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Orange Knight?
He's back in the atrium. He hasn't left the atrium area.
Okay. I want to be able to get to the point where I can see him, and I would like to use telepathy
Mm-hmm.
to speak to him.
Okay.
And I, in Abyssal, will say, I apologize for the rude interruption into your mind. This is Hades, the gentleman who spoke to you before, Trixie. I fear the king's life is in danger, and your assistance may be necessary.
if you're looking at him, his helm goes up a little bit, but not so much to be alerted. Can he respond back to you?
I don't think so. But I will, if, let me double check that.
Or does he need to cast a spell to be able to respond back?
Cannot respond. But I will say, I'll like tell him like my location, top of the stairs, and say, if you understand and are willing to aid, give me a nod.
He just lifts up his helm and just like looks at you. He just turns his head back down and just puts it back down.
Like he didn't nod?
He didn't nod. He just calls over Lydia and just points over to you. And she starts walking in a direction. She goes over to you and she starts speaking the same language to you. My lord is honorable, but why does this concern him? He does not serve the Nelethyrian king.
I am aware of that. I can respect that. But the queen is very unhonorable from what I can tell.
She's just like leans back and like looks in the queen's direction.
Based upon the stories I've heard, her reaction during the tournament, her lust for blood, I fear she will not stay stagnant in her rule, and will find somebody willing to do what she wants. That, to me, is a concern, and would leave me to believe that she would wish to expand boundaries, and I would fear for the areas of her neighborhood, such as your own tribe.
Persuasion check.
Uh, 24. 19.
It would be troubling if what you say is true and she created a power that you would even bring Abris to the war itself. I will speak to my lord. He will not help save the king if the king is in danger, but if there is something here that would harm the innocent, he will intervene.
I can respect that. And hope that he would lend his blade where it is needed.
I will relay the message.
Much appreciated.
She just bows to you and she starts walking back over to him.
In his head, he thinks, I'm so innocent!
You can just see her whispering over to him, covering her face. Just looks back at you, and then he does give you the nod at that point.
I will bow in respect and kind of relay that to everybody well, the Orange Knight will not assist us in saving the king if that's the situation, but he will lift his blade to defend the innocent of this.
He starts walking his way up to not stand by you, but he decides to be in the position of where you're located to keep his eyes located around the place. To make sure you can see the Gala and the atrium. But he stands there like an Imperial Guard, just completely stoic.
I'll take it.
As this happens, does the queen's glances change at all?
No. She keeps switching between the 4 locations. The entrance of the Orange Knight does not... You can't tell if she even took it into account. Whether she did or not seems not to have affected her process. But by this time, the group before you just finishes. You do notice the process of what happens. They got up, they bowed, they gave their offering, if they had one, said whatever they wanted to say, spoke to peace. It seemed like the group before you was offering trade. They brought coin for the king to possibly give them more land. He had a conversation with them for about a couple minutes. After they left, "You're welcome," as they walked away.
I'll use psychic whispers, be like, I can distract the queen if you want to talk to him.
We'll see if it's needed. Before I step up, can I get a good look at the area surrounding Juven's throne? Is there anything off about it?
Give me a perception check. You're pretty close. I'll allow you to actually give it to me with advantage.
$18.
18. This area is different than last you've seen it. It very much looks less of a king ruling and more or less the queen has decided to decor herself. The area itself seems like the queen is ruling, less the king is ruling.
So just so I'm getting this correctly, she has less power than him, or she has more?
By all intents and purposes, by the law of Nelethyr, he is in charge. But based off of what you can tell, based off what you know from before and what you see now, what you can see looks like she's in charge. Even though she's not supposed to be. And based off everybody coming up, he's been acting like he's been in charge.
So, like, she's manipulating him in a way.
Possibly.
Of a distraction.
You said yes to distraction?
Yes. I will step up and I will do the cultural bow of this area.
Okay.
King Juvenaya. I wish this was under better circumstances.
Could not be better. You won the tournament. It's celebration. We're all celebrating. What is to be upset about?
Insight check.
Okay.
$22.
22. It seems a mixture of blank words without meaning behind them and put on a facade.
Does it look more like he's ignoring his emotions, or does it look like he's being controlled?
Give me a perception check again. Dahlia, you as well, because I'm assuming you're going to be there looking.
That is a spooky 20.
Nice.
I also got a spooky 20. Wow.
At first, it looks like he is speaking on his own accord, but he is just being kingly, and he is just being like, I'm not going to give anybody emotion unless I really do care. But then you happen to look, as your attention is still trying to focus on Ileana, trying to see what the hell's going on. And occasionally as he talks, she does a thing with her fingers. She's almost looks like she's typing like an imaginary word onto her armrest, and then when he stops talking, she stops doing something. Continues this conversation with you. There's nothing to be concerned about. The bounty is off. You won. There is no reason to have hard feelings. You're here as the tournament leader, the winner. Shittered Rebel.
I turn to the queen. I'm like, Dear Highness, this is such a lovely gala, and I'm sure you had a hand in the decorating. I love your jewelry, and I like point down to her wrist and like her rings or bracelet or whatever she's got on, and be like, Is this from Nelethyr? Is this custom made just for you?
She looks at you as she just kind of like turns her face towards you. She's like, one of my stature does not help, and it does not deal with the decorating. I have many people that does it for me. As far as the jewelry, custom made. You like?
It is very beautiful. And I imagine you have much more important things to do than worry about the decorum for a gala, but that just goes
Charisma
to show your
saving
wonderful taste in hiring the correct people. Oh my god. Okay, what? Charisma?
Yeah.
24.
24. As you're talking, she's responding back to you. You're kind of having a little bit of conversation. But at the same time, you're hearing a whisper as if she's both talking to you words and then she's saying something else in your head. Like she's intruding on you, trying to speak to you. And you hear words that try to actually harm you, but you're able to push them away as if you felt this feeling from someone before. Very familiar. You do not belong here. Your place is not here.
That's what she's alluding in my head?
Yep.
First off, bitch. I
Leave
knew
the
that
champion
one.
here and go.
Wow.
Does she Go ahead.
Go ahead.
While I hear this in my head while what did she say back to me?
She's mostly
Well,
talking to you about like jewelry and how it's beneath her to need to do such things.
I don't step towards her, but I turn my body towards her as a little passive aggressive, like defiance type, like a no. Kind of thing. And I keep continuing engaging conversation, trying to talk to her about shit.
Yeah.
Buttering her egg roll, if you know what I mean.
As you look at her, you notice that as she's talking, you, just like how you heard another voice in her head while she was talking to you physically, you see another face look at you as she's physically talking to you. The face itself that's normally talking to you, that everyone else can see plain sight, beautiful, lovely queen talking to you respectfully. But you see another face, dark, that stares at you from behind the shadows, staring at you with an evil gaze and watching you, but you can't place what this is. Whether you're afraid or not, subconsciously your hairs on the back of your neck start to raise. Gotcha, what do you want to do?
Is Juven actually there, or is this an illusion?
Can you give me an Arcana check?
Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
$15.
He is physically there, but there is some spell being cast. We're gonna pause right now on you two.
Oh gosh.
Sophinia, where are you right now?
Over by the entrance, looking out the window.
You're actually at the
Like the area that the if anybody's waiting to come in or have
Okay.
anybody announce them, I'm over there.
Okay. As you're standing there, Apollo, Dira, you do notice that the person that originally got you and Dahlia were going to go confront, that has the large elk mask, passes you and seems to start walking those steps towards the atrium where Zephynia is. Do you do anything?
Should I do something? Over Psychic Whispers.
Can I perception check this person as they pass me?
Sure.
Perceive.
Just to see what I can kind of read off of them, maybe. Or actually, you know what? Let me insight them to see if maybe I can figure out what they're doing.
Okay.
That's a nat 20. That's a 26.
Okay. They are being pulled in two different directions mentally. It seems like when they originally were in the throne room, they had all intention of trying to confront the queen. Verbally, not physically. Now it looks like due to some kind of change that's happened, they have what seems like a curiosity to go confront Zephynia. Almost a compulsive need to do so.
What is their build? What do they look like?
With the mask on, female, pale skin, maybe a half elf. They definitely don't have the ears for a full elf. Roughly almost the same height as Zephynia. Slender. A little bit of muscle. Can't tell the face due to the mask on. But currently right now, depending on if the mask is altered or not, they have long silver hair with a couple blonde strands that is braided up and it is laying over their shoulder.
Is this reminiscent of I don't remember her name, the Green Knight?
Similar, but the Green Knight's a wood elf.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, remind me here, the knight that Gaiju beat, the King's Guard.
That's also wood elf, but that wood elf also has tanner skin.
Got it, okay.
And since this is all the mask can only camouflage the face, you can definitely tell that the hands are also pale as well. Now, when I say pale, I don't mean like ghostly white. I mean like just like an elf paleness to them, where it's not like peach; it's just a lighter color.
So not any of us who have never seen the sun.
Right. Right.
What am I doing?
I will say it appears this person is walking towards the I'm gonna do something dumb.
I love it. Yes. Dumb shit.
Is she close? Is she closer to Hades, or is she closer to the door?
I mean, during this process, she's still walking, so she's halfway down the steps towards Zephynia.
Oh, so she's not by me anymore.
Down the steps outside of the room.
Yeah, she left the Gala room.
I was going to intercept her before she left the Gala room. I did not know she had left the Gala room.
Oh, yeah, because you guys are right over the doorway that separates the Gala from the atrium. So she already, by the time you guys saw us, is when she's passing by.
All right. Excuse me. Can I ask you something? Everybody's got these.
She kind of like pulls her hands back. Yeah.
Everybody's got these masks. Nobody told us anything about masks because everybody's supposed to wear them. It's real pretty.
I don't think they're required. No.
Oh well. Is it? Does it mean something? Is it like some kind of club or?
No. It's just for the thing if you're of nobility. But I'm sorry. Excuse me. I have a previous engagement. If you don't mind, as she starts walking off.
While this is going on, I start
walk right
down
behind
the
her.
Okay, you start walking down the steps and you're just following.
I'll try to get in front of her.
Excuse me.
Not like directly, but get in front of her, and then knowing that, does it seem like she's beeline directly to Z or to like the door?
It looks like I'll let you continue your insight check. It looks like from where she is, it looks like she's doing I am going this direction, but I'm going to make it not look as direct. Like, it looks like she's going to make her way over there, but she's trying to sidestep it, so it doesn't look like she's just running directly at Sophinia. But you can tell that eventually she's just going to stop and turn in Sophinia's direction.
I'm just
Okay.
following right behind her.
I'm gonna like start going down the stairs ahead of her as fast as I can, and then kind of pull the like, oh, I forgot something. Turn around really quick to try to like go back up the stairs and attempt to accidentally like bump into her to like knock her off balance to see if maybe her mask falls off or whatever.
Okay. All right. Let's roll the dexterity saving throw. Yeah. Okay. As you turn around, you run to bump back into her. Just give me a performance check, just to roll against this to see if you can make it nonchalant.
My dice are in my favor tonight. That is a 24.
As you knock into her, she just kind of like falls and she kind of like leans on the railing. She's like, oh, and she just like, she
so
doesn't,
sorry.
the mask doesn't drop off, but like falls off her face a little bit, but the straps still hang on as it kind of falls down. As you're able to see like the top half of the face before she's able to readjust it real quickly as she retightens up the leather on the back, as you're able to see what looks like silverish eyes within the mask, and you notice that with the mask off, no enchantment changes. She naturally does have this kind of hair, ears, skin color.
Does this look like Luna?
It does look like Luna.
As she loses her balance, I'm going to take her hand
Mhm.
and like help her keep her balance. And I'm going to use Cleansing Touch to end any spell that may be on her. Use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch 3 times per long rest.
Okay.
I have no idea if she'd be a willing creature, but if this is something that is on her against her will, I am hoping it would be.
Okay. As you do this, you immediately take away an effect that... Let's see how this would work. You notice that the effect temporarily ends, but then reactivates. As she just like looks at you confused. The hell am I doing here? The fuck am I wearing? As you just notice, like, her necklace starts to glow, she just, like, reactivates, and she starts walking towards Sophinia.
I'm grabbing the necklace.
Okay.
Psychic whispered, "You guys okay down there?"
It's Luna.
As immediately the necklace snaps as you pull it off. As... Hell. Oh.
I'm beelining it down
Did
to
I-
you guys.
Did I see that it was Luna as well?
Unless Apollo or Hades said anything,
Sorry, I did say it's Luna. Sorry,
Okay.
my
You
dogs are
did,
barking.
okay.
Okay, she hasn't taken off her mask yet, so you only know what Hades told you, but you do not recognize her other than you can do the math that, like, okay, if I mix the face
Very
with the rest of
bad.
the functions, it works. But yeah, she just kind of like looks at you both confused.
As soon as Hades says that, and once I've got the necklace, my next thing, and I don't know, it'll be up to you how much this times out. I am going to try and pull her to the side, out of sight of the door, out of sight of the throne.
Okay. There is a spot like... So there are other rooms that are on this side. If you want to take her out of the way, you can.
I am going to do that.
Okay. As she just looks totally confused as she... Get this... She just like rips off the leather and takes off the... Where the fuck am I?
Keep it down. Keep it down. We're not sure what's going on.
The hell am I
We
wearing?
don't want to draw attention. We don't want to draw attention. And I get her off into another room.
Did I get over there at this point?
Yeah.
Where the hell have you been?
Where the hell have I been?
Yeah, that's the question.
Sophinia, I don't think she knows.
How do you not know?
She just kind of like looks like she's trying to put like facts together, and she starts looking around as her eyes start to glow. Yeah, I don't.
You're in Nelethyr. Did you know that?
No.
What's the last thing you remember?
I decided to head back to New Averant and go find my sister.
I think you found her. I don't think that was a good idea.
I was hoping this time would be better.
Can I put 2 and 2 together based off of this familiar, creepy thing in front of me and them saying it's Luna? I feel like this is a queen.
You two get out of there.
I would have said that loud, like to everybody, not just
Yeah.
so, like.
Yeah, well, over Psychic Whispers, we'd all hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far am I from the king?
You what?
How far am I from the king?
You can only get 15 feet away from him without the guards being aware and defensive.
Luna's real confused. There's a necklace. She don't know how she got here. This is bad, you guys.
Okay, so we have Stephania, Dira, and Hades in the side room with Luna.
Luna.
I'd be
Dollar-
watching the doorway.
Oh, you're gonna watch the door? Okay, cool. All
Like
right.
the doorway of the room that they're in.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, got it.
Standing in, like.
Okay. Making sure nobody
Somebody-
enters in. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, we still gotta have eyes on that front door too.
Okay. All right. So the room that you're in to get out is like a small room off of a hallway. So if one of you wants to go into the hallway to watch the front door, you can.
Nope, I'm focused on Luna. I'm like
Okay.
right in her face.
I'll be out there.
Right.
Hey, thank you, Hades. We gotta have. Easy. Easy.
As the large doors to the castle open, immediately the place goes quiet, but since they open inwards, you can't see who's walking in. As immediately a total of 3 knights walk in, as they are circling around somebody, moving their way up. As immediately step in front of the Gala doors, immediately goes quiet as one of them whispers to one of the people in charge. As immediately everybody goes quiet, almost like a drama is about to happen. Right away, as immediately goes up there. Everyone, my king, my queen, we have a special guest. As it all goes quiet for a second. As immediately the knights start walking their way in. Dahlia and Gaju, you notice these knights are specifically in a unique garb that you've never seen before. Specifically in what looks like a black armor with a little bit of tint of silver on them. Kind of like polar opposite of what Nelethyr has. And they aren't wearing full armor. It's like leather with like some pauldrons and some like metal skirts on and stuff like that. As they immediately open up, as you notice, as you look at the queen, she smiles as this is the person she was expecting the whole time. As immediately, Squire immediately comes, or the bard immediately comes up. May I introduce Somatherafor, as he immediately kneels on one knee and he just looks.
You bitch.
And that's where we're gonna end it.
What the fuck?
I knew it. I knew it.
Ah!
I knew it! This little shyster.
It's a good thing Hades has wings because he's about to swoop in.
No,
Too
oh my
soon.
god!
Too soon!
No, to fight and protect Kaiju and them. What are you guys thinking about?
absolutely,
Jesus,
absolutely.
you weirdos.
That's totally it. Oh my god. Ah!
Alright, so Thank you everyone for joining in tonight. We apologize that we will not actually have Star Wars tomorrow. Unfortunately, we do not have Night Act, so we will not be playing tomorrow. We'll try to find a day to reschedule to get that session in. We will update the socials when we do play the next session, so everybody knows when to jump in for that, for the boss battle. Outside of that, do not forget that this week is off for Echoes of Bahamut, as they had their session last week. So for right now, as of the schedule's current, this is the only D&D session for this week, unless we decide to reschedule for anything. Check the socials for any updates. Outside of that, everybody, thank you for joining in, and have a good night.